Welcome to the 4205 cast. The Kings are coming at you live, but you'll hear us on tape delay. Today I have with me...
Yo.
Joe.
Chris.
Damn it, almost made it.
One day.
Yeah.
Well, we'll need to get back together. You know what I really miss about being live?
What?
I really miss the voice going over the fade out to the intro song.
Yes.
I really miss that.
I was listening
really
to some of our old episodes.
Yeah.
The other day I was thinking about that.
It sounds so unnatural when we do it this way, and I hate it.
Just cut straight into it. It's like,
You
we're
know,
doing it.
you know what I miss about
What
being
is that?
live?
What's that?
You guys not letting me say my name.
No,
Oh, I don't miss that because it still happens.
This guy.
I
I'm
see what you're
Andre.
doing, Trey.
Thanks.
Who are you
Thanks.
again?
So great. Lovely. Hey, what's going on?
Hey, Trey, what's
Everything's
up?
all right. There's no trees in anybody's lawns, right?
No.
Okay.
They've all
a
fallen
lawn?
down.
Are you talking about this light sprinkling that we got over here?
No.
Like,
man.
There were two.
Man.
There were two trees on my block that fell over and destroyed a couple of fences.
So if you guys don't know what we're talking about, we had a pretty gnarly hurricane.
Tropical
Ice
storm.
sprinkle.
Depending where you were.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Because
Hurricane
literally
Isaiah Thomas.
nothing happened to me.
So nothing happened to me, right? So it rained pretty hard, and I'm like, this was like smattering of rain. This is fine. I came home from work one day, and I'm not even paying attention, but I'm crossing the street, and I see like police tape, and I was like, what the fuck happened? And I looked down the block, and just a whole tree is on the ground.
Shit.
I'm like, okay, cool.
I mean,
And-
I've seen that so many times in my neighborhood. I'm like, oh look, another tree.
just a Tuesday for you?
It's happened so many times over the last few years.
No, the last I've been because we do our daily walk sometimes, and just everywhere we go is just trees. I seen a tree just on top of a car.
Yeah.
There's
Where it belongs.
there's a park within walking distance from where I live that used to have this gigantic tree.
Yeah.
And sometime it was Hurricane Irene. Remember Hurricane Irene?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That thing was so big. But it the hurricane blew it over and it fell into a couple of houses across the street.
Oh,
It
God.
caused like a lot of property damage.
A couple of
Yikes.
houses.
A couple of houses. It was a
That's-
humongous tree.
Jeez.
Like the tree stump. The tree stump is still there. Actually, it's
What?
faced by a giant boulder. But
That's better.
yeah,
Oh, the boulder moved in because it had space now, so that's good.
that's right. Yeah, they moved in a boulder.
Could have confused it for a Korok puzzle.
Wow.
Yikes.
God damn it, you're right.
Mhm.
I am hold on. I want to share this picture that I took the other day when I was on my walk.
Oh, we're doing this again.
Yeah, I'm
This is
why
sorry.
cool
not?
though. I like this. This is fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This
What's wrong with this?
why we're recording live. This is the reason.
Okay. All right.
It's in the chat now.
Okay,
Mhm. Put it up, Joe.
I'm putting it up. Relax.
This is
Relax.
normal.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, there it is. See.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Can you just zoom in on what that tree is on?
I see the car under it.
There's definitely a car there.
Yeah. I
That's
was
not
like,
a car
oh,
anymore.
No, it's not.
Nope.
Yeah.
That's a Street Fighter bonus stage now.
Yeah.
Oh, my car.
Oh, my car.
Oh my goodness. That's yep.
That's
Yeah,
bad.
that's horrible.
Well,
That's
that's,
the
why
worst
you
one I
have
saw,
car
but-
insurance.
Yeah.
Also for people who like to drive recklessly and destroy shit.
Yep. That
Well,
tree could've
that
fell the
was
other way.
yeah. That's nuts.
That's no
Yeah.
bueno.
That's nutty.
But for me, nothing happened.
That's good. I'm glad you didn't get your car blown up
Yeah.
or destroyed.
I was upstate, and we had a bunch of crazy rain, and that was about it.
Yeah,
It's a
rained
little
hard
bit of
for,
wind.
like-
There was some like crazy gusts, but nothing crazy happened.
so, like, in the grand scheme of things, right? Brooklyn and Queens, not very far away.
yeah.
Like, there are definitely further
No.
away places
Yeah.
that you could go to and see actual damage and stuff. But like my part of Brooklyn, it rained hard for about 30 minutes and literally nothing else happened.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I'm seeing reports like 50,000 Brooklyn residents without power, and I'm just
It's
like, huh?
I got none of that.
It honestly surprised. It reminded me of when Sandy happened. If you don't live in New York, we had a really bad storm in 2012.
It was the other one, yeah. It was Sandy and Irene.
Mhm.
Yeah, 2012 was Sandy, right?
2012 was Sandy. Sandy
Yeah.
was really bad.
And I remember
Yes.
like looking outside, and I'm like, oh, that's a lot
This-
of rain. This whatever.
It's
And
some serious
then-
shit.
No, I saw pictures from what happened in like Far Rockaway, and I was like, "Oh, Far Rockaway is under the sea now."
Yeah.
Did I ever
really
show you
bad.
the video I took of Hurricane Sandy?
No,
You know how I live
believe
up the block from a canal,
Not
Yeah.
just a canal.
right?
The
No,
Gowanus.
yes, the Gowanus Canal. So I live
Yeah.
I live up. It's a street, and then the Gowanus Canal is like another
Yes.
block down. I live
Literally the
yeah,
biggest
I live-
pollution part of the
Yeah.
entire world.
I
Mhm.
live like 2 blocks away from the Gowanus Canal.
Mhm.
When Hurricane Sandy hit,
Yeah.
I lived 1 block away from the Gowanus Canal.
If I were to tell you that the Simpsons three-eyed fish existed in real life,
It's
It'd be in the
it's
Gowanus
It came from
Gowanus
there?
Canal.
this
100%.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's
terrifying in
I've had childhood nightmares about falling into the Gowanus Canal,
It smells like gasoline.
and then that day it came to me.
Yeah,
Damn.
it's terrifying.
Yeah.
I'm like, please don't come any further,
Please.
please.
I remember sitting on the porch and just watching the crazy happen.
You would do that.
Yeah, I mean, it was like, it wasn't like, it was just like crazy wind. Like, we watched the banner across the street of the church fly away.
Yeah.
that happened.
I was like, oh, there it goes.
We lost
shit-
power for 2 hours
Yeah.
during that. That was
Yep.
like literally nothing happened. And then if you took a walk around the block, there were trees all over the place. We're like,
Was
"That's-
that- yeah,
that's
what?
why we have no
Our block
trees
was,
anywhere
was
near
fine.
us.
Thank God. Yeah,
Man, yeah.
that was crazy.
Yeah, things can get bad sometimes.
Yeah,
Mhm.
well,
I hope everybody's all right that's listening to this.
Yeah, for real.
I hope nobody was in the car.
Yeah, exactly.
I had my
That was-
left side cut off. Now I'm all right.
God damn it. If that was your car that we showed, I'm really sorry
It's
Yeah,
not-
for real.
for your loss.
Imagine that.
That's funny.
That would be fucking crazy.
I would never get caught dead in a car like that, or I
Ooh.
might if a tree fell on it.
Yeah, you would.
I said, you'd be dead. All right.
I would be caught.
Oh, my goodness. So,
Yeah. Well, let's talk about some games.
Yeah.
Because,
Got quite a few news articles.
supposedly,
Yeah, supposedly
there's
maybe
news.
maybe something.
Finally, right?
Yeah, right. I was like, oh, video games. Nobody cares about video game news anymore.
No, nobody cares about video games.
Nobody ever did.
That's very true. Except us.
Jeff Keighley cared.
and the people
Oh,
who
he super
listen to
cares.
us,
Yeah,
I'll have you know.
Nah, they like hearing out like non sequiturs. They don't give a fuck about
I
hearing the
don't know if
news
they
from
care about
us.
us.
I mean, that's true. We're not like, hey, here's this
There's
breaking
a
news
Chinese
a
food
week and a half
container full
later.
of sour Skittles.
Theo, what you got for games?
I just have one thing this week. I finished Carrion.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah?
you did, yeah.
I
Yeah,
did.
so you did. So you played games for 2 hours, is what you said.
Yeah, it was short
God
and
damn, it was
sweet.
short.
Actually, I actually really enjoyed that game. I
I guess you enjoy pulling levers. All right, I'm not gonna. Yeah.
So if you don't know and you didn't listen to the last 2 weeks episode, maybe last week episode,
I think it was a couple weeks ago.
Carrion is a game where I pretty much coined it as like Dark Katamari. Like you're a space alien going across a facility, like eating people to try to get bigger and all that stuff.
Stuff, bigger things.
It's not quite like that.
No, not really. But as I'm playing the game, I'm like, okay, this is what I initially thought it was going to be a stealth game where
Yeah, me too. That
where
would
you
oh,
play-
God, it would have been so much fun. In that
so I'm with you on that fact. Where if it was a stealth game, I think I would have liked it because my favorite thing about like movies like Alien is when the alien starts out really small and you can pretty much just kill it by stepping on it, but
Yeah.
it gets away and then it like systematically takes out the people one by one.
Yeah,
I was kind of hoping
Yeah,
this
baby
is not
Metroid.
that.
Yeah, I get the feeling
Yes.
my expectations for this game were not tempered well enough.
So I think hearing your explanation of the game kind of tempered my explanations for it. So I was like, okay, cool.
Joe
I know
hated
this-
this, so I'm going to find it mediocre.
At best, right? So as I'm playing, I'm like, okay, it's not a stealth game. You just pretty much just run ragged throughout the whole facility. Like you just nothing really stops you in that game.
No
Like there are some annoying
fire,
like, but then there's water,
Yes,
so
yeah.
it's really not hard.
What about Earth?
Earth does not
the
stop
Earth-
you.
Does heart stop you?
Earth stops you up until you get a power up for it,
Mm.
and then you just like dash through it. But as I'm playing the game, I'm like, oh, okay, it's it's a fun thing to just go through. It's not an amazing game, and if I paid $20, I probably would have been more burned on it because I played it on Game Pass. So I was like, okay, this is like the perfect Game Pass game. It's like 3 hours, 3.5 hours. You run through it. And I think the thing that is more interesting to me is it is intercut with sections where you actually play as a human, which is somebody on the exploration team. So
it wasn't exactly clear.
And
that was fine. I liked that the story was kind of obfuscated.
Yeah.
That was cool. I appreciated that. The ending was kind of nice.
The ending was cool.
It was like there's like really nothing happens, but like there's like an implication.
Yeah. So
that was cool. But okay, let's talk about the human stuff because there's like it felt like Lode Runner. You remember Lode Runner?
It felt like Lode Runner and
that's a fucking callback.
And God, what's the other one? Another World.
Oh, Out of This World?
Out of This World, that's
it.
Like it felt like that where you're like just playing this human and you're like pulling levers and doing little puzzles. Yeah. But it seems like the monster's watching the past whenever the human is playing, so you kind of figure out where to go to next. And if not for those sections, I think I would have been more harsh on the game because there was really nothing to the Karen sections. Like when you're actually playing the monster, it's like, okay, you go through this level, you try to figure out
what
the
did you
puzzle.
Say? You say the monster is trying to demand to see the manager?
Karen!
Yeah, Karen.
Karen!
And you know what's funny? I did end up calling the monster blob Karen after a while. I was like, this is definitely a Karen move right here.
Let's make that happen. Let's mod it. Let's mod it. Rename the game Karen.
I want to see the manager.
But yeah, I pretty much enjoyed the game. As I said before, if I would have paid $20 for this, I would have been like probably annoyed.
You know, I think what really bit me about that game is that the game that it presented was not the game that I played.
How so?
Listen, when you theme a game around being a giant or tiny or just a horrific eldritch death monster, like ball of flesh kind of thing.
Yeah.
I'm not expecting to solve puzzles with levers. That's, that's not the kind of thing. That's not the kind of game I want to play. I want a game that is pretty much themed around the kind of the kind of stuff that kind of thing is represents in the past, like The Thing, or
Alien.
I can't really draw another comparison right now, but that's the easy one.
Yeah.
So I wanted to play like that kind of thing had acted in those movies where it's like I'm hitting out of sight. Am I like trying to startle people? Am I there? Am I not there? Misdirection.
I think I would have liked the game more if it was more of a puzzle game than a pseudo Metroidvania. Because if you can direct the people to try to do what you need to accomplish, then I think this would have been a way more interesting game.
I said it on the recording that where I talked about having gone through it. It would have been if this game were like Katana Zero. I think it would have been great. I think it would have been.
You hated Katana Zero,
but like here's the thing: I hated Katana Zero because it didn't evolve where it should have. All the levels felt kind of samey, and I think if this had done that but better, I would have liked it. If Katana Zero did that but better, I'd have liked it more too. And yeah, I would have liked it more if it were more like that, where if you're in a room and you have to figure out how to get through the room without getting spotted or incinerated. Or
I will say, something did take me a long time to figure out, like because you get to a certain size in that game where you have different power-ups. So if you're like have more than 8 lives, you're like a huge blob.
Yeah, you get like 3 stages of life, or like there's a small version, a medium version, a big,
and a huge version.
Yeah.
So like the small version would have like invisibility and you could pull levers. The medium version would have like you could dash and like go through a wall, and I forgot what the other power up is, but you get certain things that depending on the size. So you'd have to split yourself in like like a vat of liquid or some type of liquid, and the game never really explains that, like tells that to you. So it took me a while to like, why is this happening? Like, and until you kind of get the context clues after a while. I think the biggest problem with that game, it took me maybe like 20 minutes to be
it's not something that's really game breaking.
The thing that is game breaking, I think, and is a sin to this type of game, as I said before, it's like a pseudo Metrovania. It has no map. Yeah.
And it has this weird echolocation thing where it's like something is here.
Well, it's usually the save points, like to try to get your biomass back. The maps aren't huge where you kind of need to know where every location is, but there were moments where I was like, okay, how did I get back to that area so I can finish this puzzle? Like, if you have Game Pass, I would absolutely recommend playing it. Well, sorry, if you have Game Pass on PC, I would absolutely recommend playing it, because playing this on a controller fucking sucks.
I had no problems playing this on a controller.
Really?
Zero.
I would have hated this on a controller because I played the first 30 minutes on controller. I was like, I don't like this game at all.
I mean, I get it. But you said like you're pushing you're trying to aim tentacles in a specific direction.
It did not feel good at all.
Yeah.
But I went to mouse and keyboard and it felt like, I was like, yeah, this is the way you play this game.
Okay.
So if you have Game Pass on PC, like, give this a shot. I think it's worth it. But I would not spend money on it. But I did enjoy it though for what it was. Yep.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
I wish I could say the same. I'm glad you liked it.
Because
I wouldn't mind seeing another game like this. Just different genre.
All right. So, Joe, then.
Well, I wish I could say I had stuff to talk about, but I spent the week trying to find something new or find something to go back through again, and I just didn't. Like around Tuesday, I was trying to finish up my last playthrough of Divinity 2, and I'm just like, I'm bored.
You're done.
God, am I bored? I was just absolutely just destroying stuff. Like, I was killing stuff that was 3 levels ahead of me that would have taken me hours on my first playthrough effortlessly, and I'm like, I'm
out.
I feel good if you're out.
Cut the brakes. Cut the brakes back off. I did install a few mods to like get a bunch of new abilities in and try to like bring some freshness into it to try to
the in-game mods or something from like Nexus.
Something from like Nexus.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like which added new abilities and new spells and stuff.
Cool.
So it didn't work. I mean, the mods worked, but it didn't add the freshness I needed to. Because I was just trying to get through the week. Because I was planning on buying Horizon Zero Dawn on Friday, which I didn't end up doing. Because at the 11th hour, things kept pouring in. Like, yeah, this PC port is pretty bad.
I have I'm subscribed to Digital Foundry, and I get the notification, and as like the games come out, I was like, I might actually just buy this game and play it on the PC. Like I was like,
that Digital Foundry review.
Yeah, it was like, this is an awesome game, but a terrible port. I was like, okay, I will not buy Horizon.
So I guess
turn on your PS4.
Yeah, I guess I'll just give that a week or so, maybe a little bit longer. So I think I'll have to keep digging. I did play a little Team Fortress 2, and I felt like Danny Glover and Lethal Weapon.
Too old for this shit.
Too old for this shit. I played a bunch of Binding of Isaac, which is, the most comfort food thing I can do. But it's just like me killing time. God, I played like I had the worst luck I have ever had in Mahjong. I was playing online Mahjong, and I was trying to get like these bonuses from like this tournament thing they're doing. And all I had to do was not get in last place. Once.
Did not get
one
in last
time.
place.
I had 5 chances to not get in last place. And I got in last place all 5.
Oh God.
5?
Twice. So 10 times.
Or like who's the people playing online Mahjong?
I don't know, but like they all had like Japanese names or whatever.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
But like I've done well before,
You ain't do well against these Yakuza members.
Okay? Listen, okay? When you're sitting in Tenpai for Suanko, right?
Oh,
And
I
somebody
know- I
who's
know-
not even
Those
in,
are words.
I
somebody
know
who's
exactly what you're saying.
somebody who's not even in Ricci
Mhm.
drones your white dragon for
Oh,
1,000
no.
points.
I
That shit is
hate-
gonna feel
That's the
real
worst.
bad.
I hate when
That
that
is the
happens.
worst.
I hate when it happens.
I had Yakuman ready.
When did we start talking about Digimon?
I had the stupid hand where like all my tiles were the green tiles. You know how rare that is?
yeah.
I had that
Yeah,
hand.
that's pretty rare. Yeah.
And then
Crazy.
somebody stole my con.
Con?
Yes.
Fuck.
I had a group of twos. I had pawn 3 so, right?
Yeah.
And I drew another so 2, right? So I'm like,
Mhm.
oh, okay, con. And then the other person stole it and won the game. I was so mad.
I wonder how much of that was real.
This actually happened. This is
No, I
real,
believe
yeah. This is a real actual true story.
It's all things that are happening.
Yeah.
That
Okay,
happened.
Google.
I believe it.
What the hell is Joe saying?
These are the top results.
Cool. Thank you.
That was nice.
Hold on. I'm just gonna figure out what.
These are the top results.
So
So I just spent a
Shit
lot of
luck in
time.
Mahjong.
I just spent a lot of time this week killing time, trying to find something new to play and just trying to pass the time. Lots of Zelda Rando, lots of Isaac, some Team Fortress. I thought about what did I go back to? Oh yeah, I tried playing Civilization 6
mm.
and I couldn't get into it. I couldn't get into it 4 years ago, and I don't think I can get into it now. What else did I try? I tried playing
Non-expansion, right?
I don't know. Just like,
Okay.
let me put this on and see if it clicks. It didn't.
Yeah.
I went to explore the changes to Wizard of Legend, and not much has changed there. Yeah, I did that.
We'll talk about it in news later on, but I was watching a trailer for a game that was announced, and you never tried Spelunky, Joe?
I tried Spelunky.
Okay.
Yeah, I played
That-
Spelunky.
I was watching that. I was
it's
like,
fine.
oh, that seems like something you would fucking.
Yeah, Spelunky's all right. Spelunky's all right. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with Spelunky. Yeah,
Mhm.
I played Mario
Have you
Maker 2.
tried La Mulana?
La Mulana. I have not tried La Mulana.
Yeah, I think that seems like your type of esoteric kind of. You've heard of it before?
I have.
Okay. Yeah.
Have you ever tried any of the
It's on my
SteamWorld
radar.
games too?
Like SteamWorld Dig and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
No.
There's also like you might like them. There's
Look,
also
I've tried a long time trying to find a roguelike that was to replace
not a
Binding
roguelike.
of Isaac, and it just nothing has done it.
it's not a roguelike.
Okay.
La Mulana 2, you look into that.
Okay.
Yeah, La Mulana is a roguelike, and either it's a roguelike or it has a
It's-
randomizer. I don't know which one it
Yeah.
is, but like I see some high-level Zelda randomizer people playing the game a
Yeah.
lot.
It's too. I looked into it because I was like very interested in it, but it's too much for me. Like the clear rate of that game is probably like less than 10%.
Hell, I might like it.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I'll look into it
Mm.
if I can look. I've been having trouble seeing lately. Actually, part of the reason I didn't get into Civ is because I had to. Like, oh God, seeing takes effort now. That sucks. So
But
Yeah,
try
so-
SteamWorld Heist. That one
Okay.
in particular is actually pretty cool.
All right.
It's like SteamWorld XCOM, but not as punishing.
2D.
Yeah.
Not,
2D.
not as 42% as a good percentage.
Ugh,
Yeah, so I don't have anything to talk about this week. I wish I
Talk
did,
about
but I don't.
Mahjong, man.
Yeah, for having nothing to talk about, you sure spat out a lot of jargon
Yo,
there.
that shit made me really mad.
It made me
I
mad
got
hearing it too.
real mad. Well, because I said it. That's why.
No, because I had no idea what the hell you were
Exactly.
talking about.
But if you understood, you'd feel my pain.
Mm.
When you're in Tenpai for Yakuman, you lose.
Yep.
Feels bad.
Is there a chat? Are you playing with
No, there's it's a mode only.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
even better.
Yeah. That's what it should be. You don't need to get chat. You don't need
that's
chat
true.
for that shit.
I felt real deflated after that. Let me tell you. And I'm like, my luck has to change. The next day, it didn't change. I felt miserable. Like, am I really this unlucky? Wow.
So it's
I'm done. I got nothing. I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah, it happens, bro.
Okay.
Chris, what about you?
Well, I was upstate for most of the week. on vacation. I brought the Switch with me, but I didn't really play a lot of stuff. We had Wi-Fi, and I played Street Fighter on Wi-Fi for a little bit. Like a
you're
fucking
Wi-Fi
savage.
warrior, huh?
hmm To be fair, actually, I had some really good matches with the guy who friended me immediately afterward.
Oh,
So
yeah?
that was funny. Yeah, it was one of those like, like had played 2 sets with the guy, and he was using Q, and I was using Ryu, and we were both going back and forth. He was really fucking good.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, so that was fun.
You know, when Third Strike, when they pick those characters. That
Yeah.
If they're picking a character and it's not Ken, Chun-Li,
Young.
Yun.
and like maybe the guest tier characters, like if they're
Yeah.
if they pick Necro, right?
Yeah.
You know they're probably really good.
Yeah, they're probably insane.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna have trouble because I'm not as familiar with the matchup.
Right.
Like Q matchup, I'm actually very good with because you can do fun combos on his big ass body. But yeah, so that was random. So I got like friended by a person on the Switch of all things. So that was very funny. And this guy has like 2,000 hours like logged into that game.
What?
Yep,
Fuck.
On the Switch.
on the Switch version specifically, which
And
means
He has a good controller.
yeah,
Yeah,
I was
right?
saying.
And probably has a net adapter, so he doesn't have to use Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, so that was funny. I thought that was very amusing. But yeah, and he has like a shit ton of other fighting games and whatnot. And I didn't really play much else this week. I got home and immediately downloaded the Soul Calibur update because Setsuka had come out, and I was really happy with her design, which I touched on last week. And I was playing as her. She is fucking fun, man.
Mm-hmm.
She is such a well designed character from like a mechanic standpoint, and everybody essentially has like a super mode in this game. Her super mode moves are insane and so good.
Mhm.
Like everybody's are, because like everybody gets enhanced movements and
It's that
like,
red aura thing, right?
yeah, it's the red aura or the white aura or the yellow aura, whichever, or the blue
Okay.
aura, and like yeah, so that shit is really good. And yeah, she's just fucking fun. Soul Calibur is. I'm really happy with the state of that game right now. It also looks like
really?
that leak list is very true, so I'm very excited for Wang to show up at some point.
Mhm.
And honestly, I was just spending a lot of time in Character Maker the other day, just kind of like because I hadn't done that in a while
Yeah.
because I lost my old save data, so I'm like starting on scratch. But you know, there's more stuff to do now. Do with it.
Mhm.
So, and they added the best feature on the planet. You can turn off breakable, custom, like all your stuff can be turned off. So your clothes, you won't be fighting. No more stripper fights.
Damn it.
I know.
I'm out.
I mean,
I'm out.
If you want, you can leave them on, but you don't have to
Okay.
turn them on.
Wait, can you turn off so you can turn off the cube?
The
No more
cube
fighting the
got,
cube.
the cube got patched out. I think. Well, it was the cube and the green screen, which were worse.
Dwayne.
Jesus Christ! I think those all got patched out. I think I haven't seen the cube in a long time, so I don't know if it's still out there. But it might be for all we
That was
know,
the thing.
lurking.
Was a
That shit was
goddamn
so
thing.
funny.
It was
That was so
dumb.
funny. I loved it. I thought it was so dumb. It made me happy. It was,
You know, yeah, I'm glad it existed for two
Mhm.
reasons. One, because it's the cube and it's hilarious. Second, it's like, yo, fix this.
fix this, Jesus Christ!
Look
Christ.
at this problem.
Yeah.
Just created custom characters off ranks. That's all you had to do.
That's it.
All
It's
they
That's it.
needed to do. Yeah.
very simple. So yeah, so a little bit of Soul Calibur, and then I touched Undertale again today for the first time in a while, as I had planned to do so. I think I love this game like a lot.
You and a lot of other people.
It is beyond fucking charming, man. Like and it's got one of the greatest soundtracks ever. Like the
Very good
music-
soundtrack.
Yeah, because Claire has I know about Hopes and Dreams. Like I know that's like the track. Like not just because Kenny Omega came out to it in Wrestle Kingdom 13.
I thought that was Megalovania.
No, that was not Megalovania.
But in Wrestle Kingdom 13, not
Oh, Wrestle Kingdom
AEW.
13.
Yeah,
not
Wrestle
a-
Kingdom
okay.
13. He came
All right.
out to Hopes and Dreams and like had a whole like Undertale thing of like him going to fight fucking Tanahashi. It was amazing.
I do remember that. Yeah,
You should look it up. It's really cool.
I've seen it. It's
really
he's a
neat.
nerd. Yeah, I remember it now.
He's a fucking dork,
Yeah.
but we love him for it. Yeah, so just playing Undertale. I'm at the Undyne fight right now. That shit is no joke.
I should play that some more because it honestly has not clicked for me at all.
Yeah.
Like at all.
I look at that game and I'm like, I can never enjoy this.
You don't know that till you try it.
It's not.
I've seen enough of it to say no. I will not enjoy this.
It's not the aesthetic at all. It's just something about it just hasn't like got me into it yet. Which I'm more than willing to give it a shot.
I'll be honest. Like I was cold. I didn't care for like the longest time. Mostly because everybody was when it was such an overwhelming amount of people who were like, oh my god, I gotta play this thing. It just made me want to play it less.
Yeah.
It was like that kind of effect, which I do understand that. Like, I go to jail for it, but like I do understand that 'cause I get like that too, and especially about that game in particular. But like, I was listening, like I kept like listening to just pieces of the soundtrack. I'm like,
soundtrack is really good. That I will readily admit.
Fucking game.
Like, there's tons of games I hate that have great soundtracks.
Yeah.
Yep. That I will play through because of its soundtrack.
I mean, that's why I stuck through Chrono Cross.
Yeah, that's why we all stuck through Chrono Cross.
I actually like Chrono Cross, but hey,
weirdo.
Yeah,
you're not the only one.
I don't hate the game. I just don't think it's excessively great.
It was not. It was certainly not something to follow Chrono Trigger with.
I think it's a fantastic sequel to Chrono Trigger.
You're out of your mind.
I think it's not a sequel to Chrono Trigger at all.
Not a sequel to Chrono Trigger. It barely is.
I think that's what's amazing about it.
No, that's what I hate about it.
You guys ever heard of Moon Remix RPG Adventure?
No.
I have now.
It's a PlayStation RPG, kind of, but it influenced Undertale a lot, where basically you play as a character who is following the hero of that game, and the hero of that game is like basically you walk in. The hero of the game walks into everybody's house and like steal their shit and beat all the monsters and all that stuff. So you're the character that follows the hero, trying to give love back to the world.
Right.
So I remember watching the trailer.
I remember hearing this game.
Yeah, I remember watching the trailer and I was like, this is a weird type of game. And then Toby Fox came out and was like, yeah, this is a huge inspiration to Undertale. It's actually coming out on the Switch later this month.
Oh, neat. Okay, cool.
Yeah, Moon Remix RPG.
All right, that's cool. Yeah, like I'm doing the pacifist run right now. So because I figure like I want to see where that goes. And if I like the game enough, I'll probably give it another playthrough. Maybe I'll do. I don't know if I'll do a genocide run, but maybe I'll do. I don't know.
Like you would do the genocide. From what I've seen, you do the genocide run first because after the pacifist run, you don't have the heart to do the genocide run.
I mean,
this is what I've heard anyway.
No, that's true. Like I can definitely see having a hard time doing the genocide run after the pacifist run.
Yeah,
I'm shocked that game has not been spoiled for me.
Yeah, same here. The internet has been very good about that game.
Yeah. But I don't know if it's
not.
Really.
It really hasn't. Yeah, that shit is the Rick and Morty of video games.
The problem is that you didn't really care, so you weren't actively looking for.
No, but sometimes the internet just
it.
throws shit at me.
Is it a spoiler where you can spoil one single moment, or is it a collection of moments where you have to understand those collections to understand what the spoiler is about?
I mean, like anybody could tell you who the last boss is in the genocide run and what you're supposed to do, but the build up to that point is kind of what really makes it cool.
Gotcha.
Because you're playing the genocide, and by the end of it, you're so powerful that literally things are afraid of you because you become a monster. You're literally killing everything.
Yeah.
So the fact that there could be a last boss in that's like supposed to actually
challenge you,
not be like. It's something.
Yeah,
it's something.
I that is what I constantly hear. Like the people weren't super hot on the game up until like the last 2 hours, where they're like, okay, yeah, now I get this game. So
yeah, so I'm enjoying it, and I'm gonna probably finish it up in the next week or so.
Okay.
And I'll let you know what I think of it. Hopefully,
I'll jump back into it. I'll jump back into it. We can probably do something on that.
The issue is like I think it's a good game. Personally, I don't think it's like the life-changing thing that a lot of people say that it was.
This is why,
everybody's gonna have their own experiences.
I was gonna say, I could see
connect emotionally to different things. Right? I had fun playing the game. And that's basically my extent of how much I really care about it.
I'm looking at it in the lens of like, I could see how this is like that first game that really made you feel something.
Yeah.
It really can. Like, it has that charm and it has that writing, and it has the combination of all the things to create that effect.
And that
You know?
evoke that emotion. Yeah.
Yeah,
it's-
especially in tandem with the incredible soundtrack.
Mhm.
Holy shit! Like, I'm really looking forward to seeing where Hopes and Dreams plays, because like that might be one of my favorite video game songs of all time.
I really wish a lot more games were better at blending good gameplay with good emotional investment.
Yeah,
It seems like a lot of things are either one or the other.
Mhm.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
You don't
You
get
hate
a lot.
you hated Nier Automata though.
I ended up going back to it though. I hated it because I was bored.
Okay.
I guess the gameplay wasn't quite as good as you wanted.
It's I will happily admit, not happily, but I will admit that the gameplay is like, it's serviceable.
That's all. Yeah, it was a vessel.
Yes.
The gameplay is a vessel in that game.
Especially if you're good at character action games already. You're like,
Yeah.
okay, cool.
Oh God. Yeah. I'm like this is
all right.
I have all these things they give me, but I have no reason
for what
to use
reason?
any
For
of them.
what reason?
It was so
100%.
disappointing. It was
Yeah.
so disappointing.
Yep.
And everyone's like, "Oh, did you get through that?" I'm like, "Yeah, cool." I never got invested into the game because of it, frankly.
I get
Because I
that.
just
So-
wanted it to end.
You kind of also have to be fair. You're not into any of the Nier like franchise stuff
Right,
as
yeah.
it is. The whole reason you were playing it was because of Final Fantasy 14. You weren't even going in.
No,
playing
I
it
mean the whole
because
reason.
you're
The
like,
whole
really
reason.
interested.
The whole reason I went back to it. You mean?
Right? Because
Yeah, yeah.
I'm pretty sure you knew that it was going to be a raid before you started playing it, right?
No.
No.
You bought it because
not
of platinum.
Yeah, I
see.
did. I bought that when it. I bought that when it released on PC.
Mhm.
I bought that
Mm,
on
okay.
release day. And I played it for a little bit. I'm like, "Ooh, I hate this."
Mhm.
And unfortunately, I played it for too long.
What's the
That's you.
last game that you played that was both good gameplay and good story? Joe, we already know yours is Crosscode.
I mean, I love the story in the Divinity games. I think they're great.
Oh, good gameplay and good story.
Yeah.
I'm gonna cry 5. I know you guys don't like the
story
story, but
though.
yeah,
The good
yeah,
game-
Story though.
yes, absolutely, absolutely. Because
Good
as a
game-
series
Good
investment
gameplay and
it felt
good
very
story.
good for me.
It's gonna be a weird answer for Final Fantasy VII remake.
I guess I can say that too.
But I kind of know that story already, but they made it better.
But you don't.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's a weird. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's a weird
Story's not
answer.
over.
Yeah, I don't really. God, I can't remember the last time I played the game with a story. I guess Disco Elysium had only story and no game.
Mm.
Let's see. I don't really care much for the story in any of these roguelikes I'm playing. So,
Is it The Witcher?
I mean, no, it was
Witcher,
look.
Witcher,
The
Witcher.
Divinity, and Divinity 2. I thought had really nice stories, and I liked them quite a bit.
Sorry.
I liked those stories quite a bit. I was very invested in it.
Mm-hmm.
Like certainly the gameplay was enough to bring me back for like 3 or 4 playthroughs. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about you, Dre?
I enjoyed that.
It's Ghost of Tsushima.
I was saying
Oh.
the game you're going to talk about.
Anything else, Chris?
Me? Besides DMC5?
No. I mean, any other
Oh no, nothing
games
else
that you're
really.
playing?
Yeah, no, not really. Light week for me, just because I was in a mode of chilling in a house upstate and doing very little. It was wonderful.
Does Final Fantasy 14 count? Because that has a good story.
You like the gameplay though?
You're right.
The
'Cause I love that story, but woof.
The base gameplay is fine.
It's not-
just
yeah.
It's an
until they
MMO.
start-
It's an MMO.
Yeah.
It's until they start asking you to do dumb shit like
Yeah.
When
synchronized swimming.
they got Astrologian, that would really hurt.
Mm.
You guys want to hear my Final Fantasy VII hot take?
Go ahead.
Oh boy.
So I went back to that game in the past week, just like to, I want to start it over and see, just to play, because I don't know when this PC version is coming out.
Next year.
Yeah. at this point.
No, that next year they
Yeah,
said
that
as
was-
much.
I know,
Okay.
but that was pre-COVID. So we don't even
Oh,
know
so
what,
you
we
thought
don't even
okay,
know, we don't know what that is
Yeah,
now
well,
anymore.
not sooner than next year,
yeah.
which is what I thought you were
Um,
implying. But go ahead.
So I'm playing that game and I got a little past the I'm up to like the Sector 5 mission.
Mhm.
I think that game is gonna age really poorly.
Really?
I think
Okay.
in the next 5 years is gonna like that game is really slow.
A couple of those dungeons are like totally
It's
unnecessary.
it's
just
really
like
slow and
So you're
padding.
saying-
weeks of padding.
So you're saying it's going to age like Final Fantasy VII?
No, see that's the funny thing. So I can go back to Final Fantasy 7 and be like, yeah, this is a fun, it's still fun experience.
The graphics are garbage.
Yeah,
but
that's
like
fine.
the gameplay is
But
still fine.
it's like snappy in a way that 7 Remake is not. Like there's a lot of times I'm just like pushing the Clouds feels super slow when you're not in combat. And as Dre said, those dungeons are way too big.
You know what would fix that? A
Mm.
field of vision slider.
PC version.
You know what?
I
Yeah.
mean, look, they need
Yeah,
to start
honestly.
doing better ports. That's the problem. Like you
The
can have
world
an
needs to
sure.
start doing better ports.
Yeah, you could have an FOV slider, sure,
Yeah.
but it doesn't mean jack squat if your port is bad. Look at you, Horizon Zero Dawn.
Mm,
All these features that don't work.
mad
Oy.
features. 4K that outputs to 1080.
60
the
FPS
4K
except for the 60 FPS except for the facial expressions.
4K that outputs to 1080 and then upscales to 4K.
What? You have to reset by doing borderless and then go back into full screen.
You know what? I need to see video of the heads moving at 60, mouths moving at 30.
I don't want that.
I need to see that because that's
want that.
yeah.
I don't want that nightmare.
People are like,
That's
"Ugh."
weird. That's weird.
That's the
They should
thing.
have just capped the cutscenes at 30.
They
to
do. They
avoid
are.
that issue.
They are. The cutscenes are capped to 30, but there's like in-game stuff that where I guess mouths move or something. I don't know. I haven't played the game. I wanted to, but I
Yeah,
didn't.
Digital Foundry said that they should cap them because that's what was happening.
Well, hopefully something will happen in the next week.
That's
or
Gorilla's
two.
first PC game, right?
I mean,
I don't know what else
I don't
they've
know.
made besides Horizon Zero Dawn, honestly.
Killzone. That was a Killzone team.
That's definitely their first. I don't know anything else they've made besides Killzone.
That might be it.
Yep, time to look it up.
Thanks.
Final Fantasy VII. Like, I mean, it'll also have 2 more games to supplement it.
Mhm.
That's true.
Yeah, I mean, like the future games will probably get a little bit faster because they don't have to hold as fast to what was before, and they don't have to necessarily make a full-length game out of a 6-hour
Yes.
section
Yeah.
at most.
So here's the question I got. Do you think they'll ever do like a true to form Final Fantasy VII using these assets?
No,
absolutely not.
That's for what? That's
Just
too
so they
expensive.
could say they did it.
Nah,
Okay,
No,
Mm-mm.
not the way Square is.
I guess.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
If it was a different company, maybe.
it'd be awesome if they did, wouldn't it?
Like I could see Capcom doing that, but I don't think Square will do that.
Yeah.
Capcom would do it.
Capcom would do it.
The only other like Final Fantasy like legitimate remake that they did was Final Fantasy IV.
Yeah.
Like all the other ones are just like enhanced ports.
Yep.
And the remake they made of
Yeah.
Final Fantasy IV was a very different experience.
Yes,
Yes.
it was.
Yeah.
absolutely.
So
Not exactly true to form there either.
yeah,
Mhm.
for the most part, it followed what it needed to follow, but it added more stuff.
It did.
But like the gameplay was entirely different.
Mhm.
So Square just doesn't seem to like porting their games. And
Well,
just-
Capcom-
unless they're putting it on a cell phone.
like
And
straight
Yeah.
up remastering either.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're Japanese E EA.
like when they just remastered Final Fantasy VIII, that was just like
I was
you're not
shocked.
doing anything
At-
else to it.
And you know what's funny? When they remastered, I was like, oh yeah, that's how 8 looked. Yeah,
I
they're
mean,
just doing that. That's a
part
regular game.
of me think that they just remaster 8 just as a way of saying, do you guys still hate this? Because we polish it up a little bit.
Oh, you guys still do?
You
Okay,
still hate
cool.
this? You still hate
cool.
it? Okay. Yeah.
That shit probably sold like crazy.
Let me
Oh, yeah,
tell
it did.
you how much more bearable it is with fast forward.
It really is. It's so.
I thought about buying it.
That game is so much more bearable to fast forward.
That game's
Still
fun.
garbage.
That game's fun.
I'd like that game to have a rewind, just so I could see the Quistis cutscene.
No, they would have the rewind and not work for that cutscene. That specific
That's
cutscene.
dirty.
Because they know.
That's dirty. Almost as dirty as. Okay, moving on.
Please. Dre,
Never mind.
Yeah.
playing things.
I finished Ghost of Tsushima. That's
Yes.
platinum.
Ooh,
Platinum.
platinum, huh?
Yeah.
You
But you hate trophies.
It
You
did.
mega finished it.
I mean,
No,
yeah, I
he
hate
hates-
trophies, but I didn't go really hard searching for trophies.
I mean, from what I heard,
Oh, I
this
see.
is not a gatekeeping platinum. This game.
You don't have to play it twice, clearly.
No, you do not have to play it twice. It really took me about like 2 to 3 hours of cleanup after I finished to get the platinum.
Mm-hmm.
So if you play the game and you're just kind of thorough when you're playing it the first time,
Mm-hmm.
you don't have to spend a lot of time fixing up, and it's just there for you.
Mm-hmm.
The hardest thing was there's a hidden trophy that, spoilers, you have to make a Sly Cooper themed outfit,
Okay.
and the game gives you no hints as to what it wants out of it.
So that's the gatekeeper then.
That's funny.
Yeah, but I mean, like, honestly, if you're at that point, you end up just looking it up anyway.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
He's like, what the fuck is this one trophy?
Sly Cooper.
Yeah, it's Insomniac.
they
That's their series, man.
I
they have a
get
couple
it.
of like cheeky references in there between Sly Cooper and Infamous. There are a
Ooh.
couple things in there.
Okay.
It's like, let's just throw our old franchises a little recognition here. It was nice.
I like
Wanna
that.
see
I'm
more
always a fan of that.
Infamous.
Is it,
Yeah, I would like to see a little more Infamous.
Do they play it straight
would
the
love
whole way
that.
through? I don't know if it's a spoiler.
What do you mean by playing it straight?
Is there any mystical shit in this game?
There is no supernatural shit in this game.
Okay.
I love
Cool.
it for that, by the
Cool.
way.
Okay.
Good.
I
I'm happy to
love
hear
it.
that.
You don't fight any like 7-story tall beasts or anything like that. And you're like,
So no Neo.
yeah, all of your fights are like up one-on-one
A
against
dude.
like a dude, and they feel great. And one of the mid-game objectives is like you got to take out 5 bosses in a one-on-one duel, and it's like the shining moment of the game.
Okay.
How
They
good
didn't
they are.
Assassin's Creed you.
Yeah, it was just like, you get this one guy, it's you against them, and you got to fight. And they give you a couple of one-on-one fights before that, but these are like the first time that you're like fighting somebody of a skill level that's like, oh yeah, I got to be careful because this guy's
Mhm.
gonna murder me.
Mm-hmm.
Like maybe you're like your first boss, he murders you because you still don't really know how to play the game. But by the
Yeah.
time you get up to these guys, you know how to play the game, and they murder you.
Okay.
It's just like, yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty
Mhm.
good. And
Sweet.
it was a great moment. The game is just filled with a lot of just great moments.
How much do you think Ubisoft is looking at this and is like, man, fuck, we missed the opportunity to make Assassin's Creed Japan?
I mean, they've actively avoided it.
Exactly.
Because like, where do you go at that point after showing what's what could be the ultimate assassin?
Yeah, right.
Right? So
I mean, do you think anyone's gonna want to play Assassin's Creed after the ninjas?
you gotta have some interesting shit, like, I don't know, present day Assassin's Creed to justify having ninjas.
They would never do that. What are you
swear
talking
to
about?
God, I can't believe they didn't make a game with Desmond. What?
All that build up for nothing.
They built to that for how many games,
I'm
and
not
then
gonna
they
lie.
just dropped it.
I'm not gonna lie, that is the biggest reason I was super excited for Watch Dogs. When Watch Dogs first premiered,
Yeah.
I was
'Cause
like,
it was like, this is like a modern day Assassin's
Yeah.
Creed.
is
Yeah, that's what it
this
looked
gonna
like.
be Assassin's Creed? And it wasn't. And it was a bad game. So
It looked really cool in those trailers.
Yeah, I remember the
First trailer.
trailers. That shit looked
I
awesome,
was
dude.
like, whoa, this game looks nuts.
yeah.
Thanks for letting me down.
They're Ubisoft.
That's what they do.
That's
God, that Desmond story went nowhere. Like
It
nowhere.
didn't go anywhere.
It was the one of the
Nowhere.
worst
Like,
things.
Damn, no resolution, man.
Oh, there was a
So-
Oh,
resolution.
the resolution. It was
It was a
terrible.
definitive resolution.
Yeah. Oh.
The resolution is
No
this is not going to
satisfying
happen.
resolution.
Don't get your hopes up because we just destroyed this.
Oh,
Bad.
Yeah.
Bad.
Yeah.
Bad.
so bad.
I remember when Assassin's Creed was first coming out and it leaked that you weren't actually
Altair.
Altair, you were this random idiot in the future.
Mhm.
And I was like, that sounds like it's so dumb.
Then you see that ending.
And then I played it and I was like, this is actually really
Yeah.
cool.
Mhm.
This is actually really cool.
There's
And then
nothing
they,
hyper than Assassin's Creed 2's ending.
Then they give you Ezio and it's just like, I love this character.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, Desmond is actually really cool.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm all you.
And then it's
I'm
not.
not-
Then,
I'm
then
not
Desmond is
talking
like
to
doing.
you.
Yeah, Desmond is doing some of the stuff that
Because it's
Altair,
bleeding over.
Ezio was doing, and I'm like, they're
That was
teasing
so
it real
good.
hard and
Mhm.
shit. And then the ending was like, yo, Desmond, and we're like, what? Where did
Oh
I
yeah,
sick.
I just.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. Biggest wasted potential of all time. I know.
Yeah,
Probably not
well,
of all time, but
That's pretty high on the list, man.
well, yeah, we have. Remember, we have Star Wars episodes 7, 8, and 9 now.
You're not wrong.
That's
I've come
I
around
don't
on
know.
8 a lot.
I still like 9.
I've come around on 8 a lot.
I still like 7 and 8. I hated 9, but I still like
9
7
is
and 8.
not a good movie.
No, it's terrible.
I mean, like once you get past the fast forward button of the first 90 minutes.
Okay.
of-
You remember,
of-
I was about to say remember Final Fantasy 8, but no. Remember Star Wars 8? Yeah. Don't.
I mean,
Let's tell our own story.
the Final Fantasy 7 remake kind of did the same thing, didn't it? Somehow,
Yeah. I
Yeah.
guess.
space gods.
yes.
Yeah. Anyway, Ghost of Tsushima, really good. I loved it.
Awesome.
Cool. Glad to hear.
Something I will be playing at some point.
And it
Great
looks
way
like
to
an
send
awesome
off the PlayStation. Its last
Yeah.
great exclusive. The game is
That is a
freaking
last
beautiful.
exclusive. Yeah.
It's
I-
Yeah, you've been
It's so-
I
like
have been
sharing the screenshots.
all over these screenshots. 'cause
Yo,
I'm just like,
yeah, share some of
these-
those.
Yep.
Please,
Not even a
yeah.
screenshot dude like that.
good
Beautiful.
gameplay, good story, right?
Yeah, good gameplay, good story. It looks great. It's just like, obviously, it's an open world game and it has some random open world issues.
Yeah, as open world games are wont to be now.
As they do.
But for the most part, it's extremely polished. It doesn't really you don't have upside down flying dragons or anything like that in it.
It's like,
See, look how orange this game is.
Oh,
Well, the picture at sunset of after I burn down these ships. So,
That's right. That's what you
So
do to
sick.
Mongs.
It's
Beautiful,
Orange.
beautiful,
They're gonna
beautiful Oxer.
I have ones that aren't orange.
I know. I'll show you that one. This one is really cool. This is a sick.
I think
this,
I know exactly.
this could be I thought this was the cover of the game.
That's exactly what I was thinking about.
Yeah.
so cool. It's like a desktop.
Yeah.
It's like a desktop fucking
Yep. hmm
background. It's so
Look
cool.
at that. Look at that. That's great.
You know what would really make this? You know what would really make this picture?
Mm.
The freaking yelling cowboy in the background.
You know,
Well, I mean, just
Joe's
throw
gonna
in
add
there.
it. He's gonna add it.
Or the
During
cat.
this podcast, he's gonna add it.
Do they all have time to do that? Come on.
No, definitely not. So post-launch, they've added a
Yeah.
lethal difficulty,
Lethal.
which is like heaven or hell in Devil May Cry.
Oh.
Go one.
Okay.
Let's rock.
So the way the game works as it is right now is they default you to medium difficulty, which is actually relatively hard until you understand the game, and at that point, it's pretty damn easy.
Okay.
Okay.
Hard mode is no real difference except that you take a little bit more damage and the enemies are more aggressive,
Mm-hmm.
which does legitimately make the game harder because it's not a game where enemies wait to attack you. They will just shank you while somebody else is engaging.
That's right.
So you have to definitely be on your toes.
We played
And then
Assassin's
lethal
Creed
mode
doing
is
that
saying-
shit.
All of that's happening. The enemies are even more aggressive, and if you don't even look at that spearman, he will kill you from half a screen away.
Oh boy. Okay.
Spears, man, they're good.
Yeah.
It's change
Best weapon.
the history of the world.
This game also has some of the best NPCs that actually fight with you. They don't suck.
That's good.
they will kill things, and if you leave them to try to do all the work, they will die because obviously they are not you.
Yeah.
But they will kill things. And when I was playing on lethal, they were really killing things
Well, that's nice.
because the lethal also applies to them. So
Oh,
it's kinda,
yeah?
it was kind of cute.
That is
That's
pretty
interesting.
cool. That is great.
And see, like one of the people you fight with is mostly an arrow user, bow and arrow user, and they will just murder things.
I've
across
seen
the field if
I've
you're
seen
not-
some story with that guy. It's kind
Yeah.
of a shithead.
the game these characters are very well done.
Mm.
The characters are very well done, and it's like it's actually funny because the character that seems to have the worst arc is the main character,
Of course it is.
and his arc is great.
Okay.
It's not like it's a bad arc. Like he has a great arc, but like some of the other characters have arcs that are so good, and like one of the arcs when I finished it, like the character was like they were so empty, like they felt empty. You could see it in their eyes that they were just like were like totally like void of any sort of happiness. They were just an empty vessel after the end of it, and I'm just watching and I'm just like, I feel that shit.
Yeah.
I feel it. Like I understand how empty you feel right now,
Damn.
and it was
That's when the
Some
honor
serious
gets you,
shit.
man.
it's great. It's great. So I don't know if I'm gonna play it again, honestly, because there's no new game plus, and
Mhm.
I don't know if I want to like do the grind on it, but I do want to play a little bit more in lethal mode because
Okay.
I feel like that's something they'll add post patch, like a new
New Game Plus?
Yeah.
I mean, I
I'm
wish
actually
it kind of launched with it.
Yeah, I'm
you know,
actually shocked
after-
that it's not in it already.
Right. I mean, like not Devil May Cry, God of War didn't launch with it, and everybody's
I
like,
forgot
why
about
don't
that.
you?
Yeah,
Why
yeah.
don't you have New Game Plus in this? Like
That game is
we
grindy
are-
as fuck too.
Yes, it
great if you
is.
did. I'd say that probably my biggest complaint about this game is if you've played Spider-Man PS4, when you unlock a costume, the costume's abilities and the costume are like two separate things. Like you gain the ability by unlocking the costume, but you
Mhm.
can use that ability with any costume. So I really wish that they did that with this game, so that you can
Oh, okay. I thought you meant they
Where,
did that for this game.
Yeah, I was like, whoa, really? That's cool.
wear whatever armor set you want
Yeah.
and have whichever armor set's power you want equipped, because
Some
I don't
ugly
want to
shit, I
have to
bet.
like keep changing what I look like just to put on a random ability that I need to use for like 22 seconds.
Mm.
It's like
That's the best
Yeah,
thing
I
about
want
that
to
Spider-Man
use-
game.
I want to
Honestly,
use
yeah.
this ability for standoffs, but I don't want to use this ability for combat. That in order to do that, I have to switch my armor mid-combat, and it's just like I start combat looking one way and I end combat looking another way. It's just like,
Oh, can you change it in combat though?
yes,
Okay. Do you have sets or no?
you don't need them because the only thing that's functional that does anything is your armor.
Gotcha. Okay.
So
Now
like,
your
it would
hat
be
or
nice to
anything
have like
that.
a cosmetic set, but the face mask and your headband and your
Yeah.
katana sheath don't have any stats or anything. They don't do
Gotcha.
anything. They're just cosmetic. So it doesn't take long, but yeah, then you obviously don't match because you have to change your outfit. So
Mhm.
you have like one like a black headband and black mask for one outfit that you want to use all the time.
When,
Yeah.
when
But
you're
then
killing the cons, you got to make sure you look good.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, you turn around and you're like, oh, I got to change armor, and now your armor is like bright orange and green or something like that.
Yeah.
And you're just
Excuse
like,
me, the
I don't-
Huns, not the cons.
I mean, there's some cons in there.
Yes, there are.
There's specifically one in the game.
Right.
Hoto?
But my Anaconda don't want none unless you got Huns, bun.
Every
There you
week. Every week. Got to do it.
You gotta get a counter going.
I feel like I missed something. I don't.
Don't worry
I don't
about
know any. I don't get references. I'm like pre. I got that reference, Captain America. Yeah. So
Nice.
I have nothing but glowing things to say about this game.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome. It looked like an awesome game.
Yeah, I'm very excited to play it
I'm
at
just
some
gonna
point.
pull up that screenshot again. Oh, look, there it is.
God damn it.
It's the best I had in 2 minutes work. All right.
Not bad.
Not gonna lie, I was doing the same thing.
What's yours, Theo?
Oh, but no, I was.
It was-
Since
no,
you're
I see-
actually
no,
a
it's in
graphic
Theo's,
designer, right? Let's see that graphic
that was
design.
that was like me just like
Mhm.
goofing off in paint. That's all it was.
Oh man, well,
That's
Theo's actually probably got Photoshop on that thing.
Yeah,
so.
Photoshop is working right now.
Mhm,
It's gonna look a lot better.
Watch it look worse.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, right. It has to look worse.
Has to look worse.
That's
Yeah.
like
Like,
the
it
worse
can't
it
look
looks,
worse
the,
than
the
that.
better it is.
Yeah, that's the.
Stop working on it, Theo.
No. I was in the middle of
put it
working
up.
on it.
No, you're done.
Because I gotta save it.
The timer is out. You gotta
Yeah,
show
you're
the
right. You're
screen
right. You're right.
immediately.
Come right now.
It's coming right now.
Yeah.
All right.
You guys
There it is.
can talk.
Still waiting.
Fill time.
Nah, it's gonna be dead air right now because
Yeah.
for some reason when I said show it, he's just like, I still gotta touch it up.
So
Brought to
because
you
I
by
was
Sour Skittles.
So why are these sour Skittles so bad, Joe?
They're not bad.
Sour Skittles are bad.
I
Sour
really
Skittles are
like
bad.
I really like sour Skittles, but I can't eat them right now because they really suck to eat when you have burned the roof of your mouth on pizza.
Yes,
which
that
is
true.
always the
Wow.
case when you eat sour Skittles.
That is unique to you, man,
No,
and
it's
me
not.
apparently.
I was about to say it's not apparently.
Well, I mean, burning your mouth on pizza is
Is not
Kinda.
unique to me.
it's kind of amateur. Kind of for a New Yorker, that's kind of amateur.
Nah,
If
man.
you're not ready for it, man, it can happen.
How can
Yeah,
you not be
sometimes that
ready for it?
happens.
It's going to be hot. You know the pizza's hot.
It's gonna
Blow
happen.
on it.
Blow
No.
on it. That does
What
not
are you talking
help.
about?
Not
It does.
90-degree weather.
Mm.
You know that
In
you
your
can
house
blow,
with an air conditioner.
you can
it
blow
might.
both hot and cold, right?
Yeah, but not 90-degree weather. It's gonna be hot and hot. Look, all right. I wanted to eat outdoors. Actually, I wanted to eat indoors, but I can't. So I went to a pizzeria to eat.
Mm.
It wasn't takeout. It didn't, didn't
Ew,
let
are
it
you
cool
done
off.
yet?
Man, Discord on the Mac sucks. I'm sorry.
Everything on the Mac sucks.
Yeah,
Nah, shut up.
Not Photoshop.
not Photoshop.
Yeah, my Photoshop is fine, but all right.
Photoshop on the Mac sucks too.
Nah, it's not. Let us put it in. It's
Just
bad.
put it in.
But,
All right.
yeah.
Well, it's bigger. I'll say you that.
I think Joe's is better.
You think mine was- oh, my,
Oh yeah.
I actually I took the time to trace it. Well, not the time. This one like.
Disappointed in this, Theo.
I know.
I agree with you. But I feel like something's missing. I feel like I really feel
No,
like
no, you can't play that.
something is really missing.
Let's not get content
Okay.
blocked.
Well,
Okay.
let's not, Joe.
All right, okay.
Yeah, let's not.
Bad enough.
We don't need
yeah.
that.
All right. Okay.
Let's not involve the RIAA,
Yeah,
please. We don't need the DMCA on our videos.
yeah, for real.
So, believe it or not, actually, some stuff happened this week.
Yeah,
Yeah.
lots of things. Lots of things.
Relatively busy week.
Mhm.
So let's go ahead and talk about that.
Yeah.
After the break, which will come up at some point,
At some point,
maybe now.
maybe now, maybe after I cue the music up, because I forgot to do that.
Cue the music.
Yeah.
So, transition screen disappeared, and it put the video behind my windows, and I couldn't unmute myself.
Fun.
So that was kind of awkward.
What are you talking about? You were fine.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was. We just.
I was fine in the world of video editing.
we were doing a bit. We were staring at the camera for a couple seconds.
Yeah.
Oh, yes,
Silence,
that's exactly it.
Yeah.
It's a bit.
Right?
That screen
Yeah.
grab for Instagram.
Exactly. Yeah.
Hey, like Dre looking dead
Yeah, that was
on
great.
the last one.
from my Ace Attorney story.
Yep. I was like, oh, that's a screen
Can
cap.
we not
Absolutely.
revisit that? Like that. By the way, that thing you posted about the Ace Attorney
So
moment
fucking
that was so
hype.
good. That was literally Joe talking about Mahjong.
It was so hype.
I mean,
I was
I can
Well,
explain everything
except
if you
the-
like.
except the emotion was different.
Oh.
The emotion was opposites.
Yeah.
Would you
But
would
the
you like me
experience
to
was
would you
exactly
like
the
me to
same.
explain everything? I could.
You know what?
we
You can
good.
do that in the post credits.
Fine.
Oh, post credits.
There's no post credits anything.
I mean, there could be if you wanted to explain it.
Maybe. Okay.
I explained that
I'll
Phoenix
get
Wright
up.
thing.
I'll get up and you can do it to the chair.
Okay.
Everybody else can listen if they want to listen.
I
All right,
explained
well,
the Phoenix Wright thing.
I
in the
guess I
post-credits.
have to do it now, don't I?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he said he'd do it for real.
Because Saruman is some
Yakuman.
Oh, sorry.
Saruman is the Lord of the Rings. What's going on?
I couldn't remember what he said, so I just went with something that sounded close to something that was evil. Let's talk about video games.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We could do that.
Works for
like,
me.
like Mahjong.
An
I
Ace
mean,
Attorney.
it's a board game.
But you're playing it as a video
I'm
game.
playing it because I don't, because all the stuff I don't know how to do is automated for me. So thanks. Like
Hey,
dealing and
PlayStation-
scoring.
Oh gosh. PlayStation did their mini E3 state of play, focusing mostly on the PS4, but they sprinkled some PS5 in there.
There was.
Very direct,
For the-
like.
Yeah, and for the most part, it was kind of, end of
Meh.
life type of stuff. So there are a couple of things here that people are obviously working on, and they need to have a platform to show it.
Yep.
And we can't just be like, these are irrelevant, and oh yeah, you probably will be able to play on your PS5 anyway.
Yeah.
So I mean, they're worth showing, but it is what it is. I wasn't there. I wasn't blown away by really anything. Maybe one thing I was like, wow, this is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And we'll get to that one too.
I
But
thought
for the most part, it was just like a little average type of thing of, hey, there's some stuff.
Yeah.
that you should be.
There was a lot of
looking out for.
gameplay. There was a lot of
Yes.
gameplay stuff,
There
which
was a lot of
I thought
gameplay.
was strong. That
And
was
there
one of the better
gameplay
things.
for Bug Snacks.
Yeah, people are hot on that game.
Yeah, hot making fun of it.
Nah, people. I think people are genuinely.
No, shut
No,
up,
I'm telling you,
Theo.
man.
I agree
mean,
with Theo.
it's-
I think the
it's-
game is so
it's unique.
weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, unique
Yeah.
and weird that people are just like, okay,
Yeah, I'm into
what
it.
is going on in this?
Yeah.
It's the morbid curiosity.
Mhm.
Right.
Right.
I don't have a list of these games, and I'm not going to rewatch them.
And there was really
Unfortunately,
nothing.
there
Crash.
wasn't really that much.
Was it Crash 4?
It's about time.
God,
Still
that's
one
a
of the
great
best
title.
names.
It's so good.
It's really good. And
It's a good title, but a good title does not make a good video game.
I
You're
actually
right.
thought it looked kind of good.
It looked like
Yeah.
Crash.
Yeah.
Like, as far as like like what you would do with a modern day Crash Band, like I really thought that focus on the the filter changes and whatnot, like, or being able to play with different mechanics and each
Mhm.
like have each level be able to like switch on. Okay, here's the underwater mechanics for this level, or that color crazy shit that looked like Unfinished Swan.
Honestly, it feels a lot like very experimental, like Mario Galaxy.
Yeah, I was impressed by some of that, to be honest.
Yeah.
I thought that looked really cool. I was like,
Yeah.
You could feel the love and effort put into that game.
Yes,
You
I
know,
will.
and
Yeah, I will 100%
though-
give you that.
Even though I'm not a big Crash Bandicoot guy. Like I played the first 2 or 3 games. Not that they were fine. Like I don't love them, but like I don't hate them either. Like I actually probably genuinely enjoyed the first one, but
I just hate the perspective. That's my issue. With
yeah,
the,
and
with the game.
and like they're keeping the perspective, but they're. I noticed like when Crash is running towards the camera, he is very far away.
Yeah.
Like he is not like up in the camera running from the things. And I'm
Mhm.
like, okay, well, it looks like they've paid attention to things that were not great about those camera angles to begin with. But like, yeah, I saw some stuff I liked it. I'm like, that looks pretty cool.
Mhm.
It's not necessarily like something I'm like super interested in, but like, I don't know. I thought it looked kind of neat. It's nice to see effort.
Yeah.
Effort, like actual effort.
Actually, the trilogy remake that they put out maybe last year looked very good also
Yeah.
in terms
yeah.
of like the effort poured into it.
Yeah.
It had some issues because of the fact that it was 60 FPS and nobody was used to playing Crash at 60 FPS. So like,
That's an issue
nobody
for
could-
people.
Yeah.
Yes, because you played this game at 30 FPS for your entire life.
Yeah.
And you change the physics of the game essentially. It's kind of
that
weird.
Yeah.
could be an issue. Yeah.
Yeah.
If it's just a visual thing, I'm like, how is
No.
this a problem? No.
There's
No,
double
no.
game here.
Yeah, like literally, there's twice the game, so things are just kind of weird.
hmm
And that happens a lot when they port 30 FPS games to PC at 60 FPS. It ends up being a lot of random glitches that
Dark
they
Souls
didn't
was
foresee.
notorious for that.
Like the faces start moving at 30.
Yeah,
And
we might talk about that later too.
Yeah.
I mean, we already did.
But
Yeah, we kinda did.
we might like
Revisit
talk
it?
about Yeah.
Okay.
They showed, which was kind of cool for me. They showed Hitman 3 in VR.
That looked cool.
I was like, and
That's a good
They-
VR game.
and they
That's a
said
fucking-
that they're gonna like patch the Hitman 1 and 2 to have full VR support.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
That's
kind of
cool.
crazy.
That is really cool.
Man,
That's
I wish
really
I could enjoy.
cool.
I wish I could enjoy VR.
Mm.
It makes me so sad that I because if this is the way they're going, I can't physically do it. You know,
Yeah.
that makes me sad.
Hitman, that's a good fucking choice for VR, man.
Yeah, that
That's a
actually got me real excited
strong
for it.
choice.
Like
Mhm.
a stealth game in VR just sounds amazing.
Yeah. Absolutely.
until somebody detects you from behind.
I mean, listen, the anxiety is gonna be part of it. It's gonna be
Yeah.
part of the
That's
experience.
That's true.
Absolutely. That's a good thing.
It is.
Only a good thing.
Yeah. Well, maybe not only a good thing, but it's mostly a good thing.
Mostly a good thing.
It's a good thing for immersion.
Yes.
Mhm.
Which is what we're going for in the entire point of VR. So kind of works out.
Not a good
Yeah.
thing for gameplay,
No, maybe not. We'll see.
which you kind of need for VR.
I mean,
to be good.
some people might not be able to cope with the anxiety.
It's weird.
There's
I mean, like, you know what? That's a lot of just VR in general. Is even if it's not like an anxiety game, it's just hard to cope with.
Yeah.
I remember
Yeah.
seeing a video of somebody playing a boxing game in VR, and they were just scared, like they
Yeah,
were
fists-
running away from it.
Fists
It's
are
like,
coming at you.
yeah, it's like you can't do anything about this. You can't
Yeah.
run away from it. They're gonna
That person's never been punched in the face before.
so it's
Not a lot
like
of people have, you know.
I know.
Yeah, you think about it, there's probably, on average, more people have not been punched in the face than
Not,
have.
yeah, 100%.
Much to their detriment.
Yeah. Like, you ever, like, walk down the street, look at somebody, I was like, I bet that guy has never been punched in the face.
I never thought that, but I will now.
well,
There's some people that you've seen like, yeah, he's been punched in the face before.
Yeah.
there are definitely people that I think should be punched in the face, and you
Oh,
can tell
yeah.
they've never been punched in the face.
Yes.
It's just like,
I'm
And
You
they,
need to
and
be
they would,
punched
and
in
they
the
would
face.
like just
I'm all the way with
180.
Dre on that. Yes.
like, oh, this is what this is like.
Yeah,
Let me
but
be
you're
a
not
better
going to be the
person.
one to do it.
no,
Nah.
I'm a lover,
This
not
is
a fighter.
Right.
And you're an
I
adult. So you'll
have
go
no
to jail.
comment.
I mean, your shirt is confirming that, that's for sure.
That's true.
Cast Cure.
Casting cure. Hey, the camera flips automatically. That's nice.
Is it?
Yeah, it does.
Wait, what? Really?
Yeah, because it can actually read the text on your shirts.
I mean,
Yeah,
Yeah,
it does.
you know, if you take a selfie, like unless you
Does
have
it?
like
Oh,
some
it,
phone,
it,
it doesn't
reads it for
actually.
you guys.
It doesn't actually flip.
It flips for us, Theo. Yeah.
Oh, that's
Our,
interesting. 'cause
Our
my shit is
resident
not.
our resident legal expert Fandom Ryu had a story about that where he put together this entire presentation trying to look super professional for his boss's boss. And I'm sorry, Fandom Ryu, for co-opting your story here, but
Mhm.
it's relevant.
I mean,
So-
you did cite him, so it's good.
I did, yes. So he had put together this entire amazing presentation. He was using Microsoft Teams, and
The worst.
he started it up, and it's like, oh no, the image is flipped. Let me just fix this.
Oh,
And then he started
no.
everything up, and he's like, dude, your thing is backwards.
Son of a bitch.
He got juked.
Oh man.
That's great. It's a great story. Let's talk about this specific game that was shown.
There's
on
one
that
other game I
state of play.
real quick want to touch on.
Sure.
Godfall.
Yeah, so they showed a nice gameplay chunk of Godfall.
I liked what I saw.
I actually did not.
No,
Really.
Nah.
What did you like about it?
So I said in the chat when we were talking about it that it reminds me a lot of 2018 God of War.
Mm-hmm.
You think
and
that's
not-
what they're going for?
Maybe, and maybe not for the. I don't enjoy that stiff feeling in my melee combat games,
Mm.
and this one looked very. I don't know, something about it just didn't look fluid.
Well,
I disagree
Think
with
about
that
you
statement.
think, you think about those big bulky characters doing like throwing around
Yeah.
them big bulky weapons. That shit
Mhm.
needs to feel like it's big and bulky.
Yeah, I'm gonna say like I don't mind it necessarily in this case because yeah, like Joe said, they're dudes wearing armor.
Mhm.
swinging around these giant weapons, like I better feel that impact. It'd be like in Monster Hunter if like your charge blade didn't like feel like you really hit something.
Yeah.
Like what's the fucking point? So I definitely see what you're talking about a little bit there, but like I was impressed to see that the mechanics looked good, and I'm excited to see more of what it has to offer. I am tentatively excited for it. Like I just like because that's a game I want to play. Like ideally, like here's this action-based MMO that you'll be able to play with friends. Like
Yes.
what?
100%.
I
I'm
don't
right there.
know, Chris. I don't
All
know
of
if you
that.
really want to play that game. It doesn't have a fist option.
It might not yet.
They're gonna have fists.
They'll have like gauntlets or something.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I like swords. That's fun. Swords are they're the nice option.
Hmm.
I like pole arms. It's all good. I like all those things.
I like swords.
I like swords.
I like
Swords are
S words.
Saber.
It's an S word.
But yeah, no, I actually really liked a lot of what I saw out of that game. So, and aesthetically, it was like it looked better than things they had shown. So I like the art design. I liked a lot of what I saw. I was like, okay, I'm actually kind of interested in that. So
Yeah.
I like that they called it a looter slasher.
yeah, me too.
Yeah, they
I
did.
was
They
like-
definitely said that. And I was like,
okay,
cool.
well.
So what is
sure.
it? Is it in the vein of Borderlands or Destiny?
It's
Oh.
Destiny,
Okay.
Looks Destiny.
except that you're not
Looks more
shooting
Destiny.
things.
Yeah, you're punching things and killing. You're killing things.
It's
You're
melee
slashing things with
Destiny.
a sword. I'm in. Let's do this.
I mean, yeah.
Melee combat, please and thank you. Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah. It's melee combat and it's not first person, which means that it might actually be good.
Yep,
Yes.
yep.
Yeah,
Please stop making first person melee.
I wonder if this is.
Please.
I wonder if this is the one that gets me to do the epic thing.
Is this do we know the studio? I know Gearbox is publishing it, but are they developing it as well?
Well, I know it's not going to be on Steam. I know it's going to Epic exclusive. We already knew that. Like that's already confirmed.
But I assume any game that's coming out now is just not going to go to Steam.
Hey, that's what I assume too. You know, if I have to temper my expectations because until I see that logo, I'm like, let's go into Epic.
The developer is Counterplay Games, and I am not sure
I don't know
what they have ever done.
It's a
You
good
sound
title.
Yeah.
Oh, look like this might be their first big game.
That's
Yeah,
they're getting a lot of pomp and circumstance for their first big game like this.
Yeah, this was the first next gen game announced. When we think about it.
Yeah, it was.
Looks
Yeah.
like they have a game called Duelist, spelled really weirdly,
Oh, that's that PC.
and it's some
Card.
sort of card game.
Yeah. Okay. That's interesting.
Well, unknown developer, so I have no expectation. So that's good.
Well, this game has a pretty good rating, but it's definitely not in the same genre.
Yeah,
Right.
So
Right.
they have no footprint to follow.
Yep.
They have, they have no fingerprints to.
That's a good
Yeah.
and bad thing.
Yeah, it is.
And,
Like
If you-
they have no developer stink yet.
Yeah, exactly.
and if you wanted a pretty hefty idea of it going to the Epic Game Store, it is being made in Unreal Engine, which is
I mean,
probably a good
Most
way
things
to
are
say.
made in Unreal these days.
Yeah, but I would guess that if you are a third-party company making a game in Unreal Engine, they might let you license it for less,
If you go to Epic.
going to put the game on the Epic
More
Game
than
Store.
likely.
Uh-huh.
And this is one of the reasons why EA was like, "Hey, we got to use this." What was? Oh, dang! What was the engine that Dice made?
sheesh,
Frostbite.
Frostbite. It's like
yeah.
make it on Frostbite. Do everything on Frostbite. And they're like, we can't use this engine.
These
for
cars
the
don't
game.
work in Frostbite, guys.
We can't do it. But EA's like, we cannot pay Unreal for all of these
That
Unreal Engine for all of these games.
engine killed Mass Effect Andromeda.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't know. There's a lot of things that killed Mass
Well,
Effect.
it didn't
Andromeda.
help. That's
that
for
was
fucking
probably
sure.
it also killed that other game that Mass.
You see, that's what Epic did. They figured
What is
out
that
where the
name?
money is. The money is in engines and
Yep.
distribution.
They,
You know what?
Just like-
Valve did the same thing.
Valve was like, why would we make
Yeah.
games if we could just pay,
Right?
if we could just have people pay us to list
Right.
their game on
Like
our
here's
service?
here's the source engine. We have this. You could use that, and all of our games are available on this new platform we just created that everybody hated at first too.
Yep.
So give it until 2027. and then everybody will be all about Epic Game Store.
Be like,
Yep.
man,
Maybe by then they might
hated
fix
Epic?
their security issues.
Yeah,
they keep giving me free games, so I'm just gonna keep taking
that's
Yeah.
it. So
better controller support. Hey, I'm in. Why not?
Mm.
Fuck it. I don't care at this point. It is what it is, you know?
Because you know what? It's still on the PC. You don't have to buy anything extra to get the game to run. You just have to have a different launcher.
God,
and
I
it's
just
not
you just
and it's
don't
not
like.
you play.
it's not you play, but I still hate their business practices. I hate
I
what
get
they're
it.
doing. I think exclusivity is one of my pet peeves, and I begrudgingly accept it as reality because I understand why it's done.
Yep.
Let's talk about this specific game on the state of play from PlayStation.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So they showed off a very stylish trailer for this game called Aeon Must Die, and this trailer, like, when you like look at Devil May Cry and you like, yeah, that game oozes style and stuff.
Mhm.
And like this game, not obviously it's not Devil May Cry. It doesn't look or play anything like Devil May Cry, but there's just this oozing of style off of this trailer. Like
Yeah.
you're looking at it, and this trailer is grabbing you. Like
Yeah.
it is
It looked awesome.
visually unique, and it looks great. There was like so much blending of what was going on that you couldn't tell. Is this like a lineup RPG?
Yeah, that's
Is
Beat 'em
this
up.
Is this a beat 'em up? And it's just like you don't know, but it
Yeah.
still looks cool.
Yeah.
Which means like you could look at this game and be like surprised as to what the actual genre of this game is. Like the trailer was so well made.
yeah.
Yeah, it was.
It's probably a
And
visual novel.
apparently it was also just kind of made.
You hope.
Novel, this guy. Apparently that the trailer is just kind of made off of scabs, essentially.
This is like a sweatshop trailer.
Uh,
Ugh.
so a whole bunch of devs just kind of quit, like maybe like two weeks. I think it was maybe about 2 weeks.
Yeah.
A week or 2 weeks before before that trailer went out. None of them knew that it was happening. None of the artists were involved in it. They just kind of hired somebody to be like, yo, this is what the game is. Make a trailer out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And whoever did it, they did a good job.
He did.
But nobody who is involved in making this game was involved in the trailer.
Nope.
So that's interesting. And it looks like they're just kind of trying to like push and force this game through without anybody who made the game being involved in the actual release of the game.
Right. But from what I understand, people who worked on this game were given like grueling overtime and not paid.
Yeah.
Not just not paid for the overtime, just not paid.
Period.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so fucked up.
Which is Jesus.
Yeah.
Like we know this happens in the gaming industry.
Yeah.
It's
Like-
been documented and reported many times, but to this degree,
Game
Yes.
crunch is
Like-
one thing, but like sweatshop slave
Listen,
labor.
Yeah.
you just had like the entire development studio just up and quit.
Yeah.
It was that bad.
Well,
it
we're
was
not
that
paying
bad.
them for their time. That kind of makes sense.
I mean, Jesus.
And
So the publisher I don't think has any. The publisher is this Focus.
yeah,
Focus Home Interact.
Interact,
Yeah.
yeah.
They kind of didn't want to touch
Yeah.
it. You
I
could
think
tell.
I don't think they have any. I don't think they have their hands in any of this bad stuff.
No.
They're just like the
No.
publisher here, and then
No.
problems are lying with the development studios or whoever's in charge thereof.
Yeah. Unless the publisher was like, "Hey, we need a trailer," and like
Get it done.
Yeah.
get it done. Yeah, I'm sure that was the only
Right.
thing that they had to do with
Yeah.
this.
Because
more than likely.
they put out a statement that essentially said nothing. It's
Yeah,
like
we'll
we don't
look-
su-
we'll look-
like we don't support this. This is bad, but like we're not going to do anything because it's not our problem.
Yeah.
And
Not much else they can do.
yeah,
Really.
to their credit, it's
Right,
not
I
their
mean,
problem.
It's
Well,
not their
no.
problem, and there's contracts involved and everything, and it's not on them to break those contracts. Because
I don't know if you mentioned it before, Dre, but shortly after the video came out, there was a huge Dropbox
Dropbox.
Yeah.
of pretty much a whole
testimonials.
from the development team that's saying like, oh, we weren't, as you said before, we weren't paid. There was like overtime that we weren't even getting paid. So fuck overtime.
Yeah.
It looks
like the IP was stolen from them,
Yeah.
Yep.
which is like, how does that even happen?
Yeah.
Like there was
So-
some under the table shit going on there.
Yeah, what I saw about that was the chief creative officer got kind of duped by the CEO
Mhm.
of the company that they basically made it together. The CCO was like, I have this vision, but I'm not a money guy, right? That's why I'm a chief creative officer.
Mhm.
So do you want to hop on and do this? And apparently the contract they signed was basically he was signing over the rights to whatever they made to this. So it was, he didn't. From what I'm seeing is that he didn't really read the contract too well because
Did
it
you
was
find
just like,
print, kids?
why would he? This was their handshake agreement.
Yeah.
Why would the contract say anything different? So I guess
Fucked.
Yeah, that's-
really
we didn't
fucked.
lawyer up to
Yeah,
get
it's,
the contract.
And in some regard, there's responsibility on both sides. One to
Yep.
be, and to comprise an ethical transaction,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and another to do your due
Due
diligence.
diligence, yeah.
So
Yeah.
neither is innocent in this regard, but one's an asshole, the other's ignorant.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just it's unfortunate. It's one of those things that has to happen when you do business. You
Yeah,
have to fucking
you have
read
to
the
do it.
fine print, man.
Well, I'm really curious to see where this game is going to go from here, because after that trailer launched, they were like, "Nuh-uh, here's what really happened."
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Not
they,
e-
were,
not even-
like minutes.
they were loaded and
Yeah.
ready to go.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
right.
that
And
should
like,
happen while the state of play was still going on.
Yep.
Yeah,
Like it was
The-
happening while it was still
I
playing.
have never seen something like that
Yeah.
happen.
I
in
put
that
it in our
time
chat.
frame.
I was like, oh, this trailer
Right?
look incredible. And then
I was
5
2
minutes
minutes
later,
later.
Dre
Yeah.
Dre
Yeah.
put up like, yeah, there's some bad shit.
Yeah, I had woke up to see that. I was about to watch it, and then I see the thing, and I'm like, I'd be doing a disservice to these people if I were to
Yeah.
watch this trailer.
Yo,
Yeah.
like I don't even know how it is I ended up seeing this because it was from a Twitter. It was somebody from Twitter. I have no idea who they are,
Mhm.
and I was just like, this is something. So I posted it, and then I was like, well, I don't know if it's true or not. But then I started doing research, and like all of the big name game, well, let's call them like coverers, I guess, because I don't know if we should call them reporters, but they're very good at
People
what they
who
do.
people who cover
There's-
video game news.
They have a lot of inside information.
Yep.
And they are generally right. Like guys like Wario64 and Nibel, Juge EX, and they all retweeted this. And I was just like,
There has to be something to this.
I don't think this
Yeah.
is fake.
There's too many fingers in the pot for this to not
Yeah.
be stirred.
Mhm.
Right.
Like I doubt they would have put their names on it if it wasn't real. So it's just like
It's been corroborated by people.
And honestly, when you look
providing
into that
information from.
Dropbox and read some of those testimonials, there's some gnarly shit in there.
yep.
like just
Some
how
real bad stuff in there.
like you really don't see just how bad it gets. You all you see is the finished product. You see the result of the blood, sweat, and tears.
Yep. Well,
And
that's
you
that's
kinda-
video
and you kinda-
games, really.
You don't
That's
really
just
want to see other
everything.
sauces.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's almost everything. And I don't know if there's listen, like I worked a lot of hours this quarantine. A lot of hours. Like I'm getting paid less because everybody at my job is getting paid less. And like I've had to do overtime and I was not compensated for that overtime.
Mhm.
And that's not cool. But I mean, like we had hours limitations. Like we're not supposed to work overtime. So job had to be done. So it had to be done. Like I can't not do the job. I can't lose my job right now because I'm just like, I can't work 2 extra hours right now. So it's like, it's not a great situation.
Yeah.
So like I can have like a level of empathy with them from just what's going on now. But like, we already know what the video game industry is. You got to
Mhm.
pay your people.
Yep.
You got to pay them. You can't just not pay anybody. Like, it doesn't matter what your job is. Like, if
Is the
you work,
problem-
you have to pay people. You
Is
have
the
to pay
problem
your
when-
people to work.
It's a
Yeah.
problem when you're in
Mr.
a
Heyman.
profession that is run on passion.
Like,
Yeah,
Well,
people either
what's the-
they put too much in or they get taken and then as a result they get taken advantage of.
But can everybody have the same passion about the same thing? At some point, it's like, some people have the passion, and other people are just there for the paycheck.
When you're creating something, Joe, You care about the thing.
As a team effort, this
Granted,
is
yeah,
just
not-
conjecture on both our parts, but
Yeah.
it's I think it's unreasonable to say that everybody's going to have the same.
No,
passions,
no.
you know.
There's gonna be different levels. Of
But I think there's a
course.
higher
Yeah.
tier of people that enter the video game industry that's like, yeah, I fucking love video games.
That's right.
But there's also
That I
a
agree
high level of people who leave the game industry and they're like, I can't stand video games.
I can't. Yeah. Yep.
And it's because of shit like this.
Yeah.
It's like, Theo, you are an artist, so you are familiar with the line that I can't pay my bills with exposure.
Yeah. 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
How often you
gotta
know,
pay your
graphic
people.
design person who was just like, when somebody contracts you for some shit like that, and they
to be
expect
fair,
things done for free.
I was working with a client just a while ago that just kind of had to bail out after like me and them were talking for a long time, and I was like, well, I was doing. Yeah.
The only artists that can pay the bills with exposure are strippers.
Yes.
Well, he's not wrong, folks.
Yeah.
Not wrong. He's so proud of himself for that one too. Look at him.
Oh, but like,
No, I'm looking at Dre and feeling more proud.
Well, he's not
No, but
healed
like-
over, so
yeah, my attorney story was still worse. But so I completely understand where, because this is like not a creative field where you're like, okay, I'm just gonna put in extra effort for because I actually care about this thing.
Yeah.
And then a lot of times you get taken advantage of.
you do.
Yeah.
It sucks.
Especially if it's something you really are like
Yeah.
excited about.
It's a good thing this is being talked about and documented.
Yes.
There's at least that. I mean, nothing has changed yet. But
So,
hopefully,
Well, I mean,
This was-
who knows when this game happens now?
and if I
If
think
it
that
does.
if this was a bigger profile game, there would have been
oh
more.
yeah, this would have blown up.
Yeah. But, like, because it's,
I'd be still curious to see how this progresses. I'm really
too.
curious to see where this goes. Do they just drop it and forget about it and bring it back later? Hopefully,
When the game is about to come
everybody's
out.
forgotten about it.
Yeah.
And hopefully, they don't want to let them forget about it.
Tangent here. Speaking of paychecks, did you guys hear that Blizzard employees circulated an anonymous spreadsheet where they all put their
Yes.
their salaries on it after
Yep.
they were all promised a raise?
So
Mhm.
this is something that
That's-
I thought should have happened a long time ago in like every business.
Every industry.
Everybody should know what your peers.
You see, the thing about that is, it was usually considered taboo to talk
Yes, it
about how
was.
much you were paid.
Yeah.
You know
There's-
why it
there's-
was considered
there's-
taboo?
Probably
because the
of
companies
that,
made
yeah.
it that way.
Yeah, because companies made it that way. It's
There's
bullshit.
There's a fun John Mulaney skit where he asked his friend, he was like, "Hey, how much you making?" He was like, "I can't tell you that," but his friend was like, "Yeah, I'm thinking about leaving my wife." Like you're willing to talk about that, but not how much you make, like because as you said, it is taboo. But
It shouldn't be.
it should
Yeah.
not be.
No, it should not be.
Because then you have collective bargaining at that point. It was like, well, this person is making this, and they came on to this project a month
Yeah.
before me.
Look, as long as what you're being paid is meeting what you're doing,
Yeah,
that's the goal. I mean,
that
that's
is the goal,
yeah.
and that's the thing. It's not like that's always the goal. It's never anything but that. Like in a very rare occurrence, it's somebody
Well,
trying to get over.
you can negotiate for more pay or for more benefits, but at the end of the day, if your value is not worth the paycheck, it's not
Well, I mean,
Right,
then you
well,
don't
they-
get your then you don't get
You
your
don't get
raise.
promotion. You don't
They
get the
shouldn't
raise,
promote
yeah.
you, or they
Yeah.
shouldn't. They
Right.
shouldn't, or they should fire you
Right,
if
yeah.
you're not pulling that job.
Yeah. if you
The
ain't
ideal
pulling
is
your
that
weight,
you
yeah.
the ideal. I'd say the ideal is that you work
course.
for and get paid for what you do
Yeah.
Mhm.
and what you put in.
But if you're putting in the same thing that other people are putting in, then you
That's
should get paid
that's
the
the
same
issue.
thing.
Yeah.
That is
That's
the
why they
issue right
don't
there.
tell. They're like, hey, don't talk about your pay because that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
And I think everybody knows that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah. At some degree, yeah. Everybody understands that.
Mhm.
So I thought that was a funny thing to show up around the same time as this of these guys not getting paid, because they started talking about it. It was like, hey, did you get a paycheck this week? And they're like, nope. Did you get a paycheck? Nope.
Did they talk about the results of it, or is it still ongoing?
I heard a couple of things of like people are saying that their raises were actually so low that they ended up making less money now than they were making last year, in combination with the fact that they don't have the same hour load that they used to have with the
Yeah.
current.
Probably getting taxed a little differently.
stuff.
They're probably in
Yeah.
a different bracket.
So they're
now.
like,
there's that.
yeah, I got a raise, but like I'm making less money.
That's a fun sentence to say.
Right?
Yeah, that's the best
Well, I
thing.
mean, like
That's got to make you
that
feel
shit-
real
that
good,
shit
real warm
happen-
on the
That
inside.
shit happening to me right now.
I know. I get it.
because you have a baseline pay cut.
Salary is an interesting thing.
It's something. Yeah. So I thought that was a little interesting tangent to show up at the same time.
It's relevant.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. People,
And it was anonymous, right?
Yeah. So we don't have any names on it. But,
Okay.
you know, this Diablo YouTuber and Twitch streamer that I watched, his name is Riker, was talking about it, and he was like, "This probably makes sense considering when Mike Morhaime quit Blizzard in like 2016, which is around the same time that Activision started being like, we got to be really like cost cutty and all this other stuff, and he just was like, I'm not dealing with this shit. Like, I
Yeah,
love
I'm
this
out.
company too much. I can't deal with what this is going to do to the company." And he was like, I'm out. And then it basically has, since that's happened, it's just Blizzard has not been the same company.
Nope.
So they were able to put out Overwatch, and it was a good game.
And despite themselves, honestly.
And it's
Yeah.
still widely played, and like, you know, I don't play it anymore,
Right.
because it's not really. I'm just not a good fit
For all of its drop off, it's still got a pretty big
But
player
yeah,
base.
it's still.
And there's
people
been a
still
lot of
enjoy the
drop off.
game.
Yeah,
So-
the game is still fun. People still like it. So
But like,
Yep.
even though Blizzard's never been the company that releases like a billion games, it just doesn't feel like the same Blizzard.
Yeah.
Since all of that stuff has been going on, and just pay your people.
So,
Just pay your people.
I mean,
Like,
look, I mean,
No.
I get it. I get a small development studio that may not have as many resources as they had planned to. I get that. I
Yeah.
mean, it's if you can't do it, then I mean,
you got to tell them.
yeah, you got to
Mhm.
tell them. You
Yeah,
got to
yeah.
like, you know, you can only give so many IOUs at that anyway.
yeah,
Right.
But if you're like, God, if you're like a
Conglomerate.
multi-million-dollar conglomerate,
yeah. Go fuck
Pay your
yourself.
people.
pay your people.
Pay your fucking people.
No.
Jesus Christ.
That's Bobby Kotick. No.
What was the line about they said about World of Warcraft Classic before they released it, where it's like, you think you want it but you don't.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's what they tell people about their money. It's like, you think you want it but you don't.
You think you
We're
want to
gonna-
have an apartment?
We're gonna
and,
keep
you know,
it.
Nah.
You want that apartment in
You want
Irvine?
food? No, you don't.
You
You
don't
think
want
you
that.
do.
You want to be able to pay your bills? No, you
Yeah.
don't.
Just take this exposure.
Mhm.
Pay it with that. Let's see here. How about some more money talk?
And bullshit walking.
Well, sure, why not? How about the Avengers on PlayStation getting all these extra stuff because
You know,
PlayStation?
it's not just going to be the Avengers. You're
Nope.
gonna see a lot of this, like the PlayStation Advantage thing. It's
So I think
As
that's
a
my-
logo.
I think that's my biggest problem with this. That really sounds gross to me.
yeah, gross is the right word for it.
It's like PlayStation Advantage, and they even have a trailer for it.
Like they want people to buy PlayStations, and
Yep.
you know what are you gonna do? You're gonna get the best gaming experience you can get on PlayStation. You're gonna have the Advantage.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't do so well for Nintendo and joysticks, by the way.
Mm.
Yeah, the NES Advantage was actually a pretty well bought peripheral, all things considered.
Was it?
I had one.
Okay, I did not. Okay,
See,
Out of
that's
50
why,
out of
that's why he
50
tried to bring it up
I had a 50-50 shot of it being right, and
because I didn't have it, so it must have been
I
garbage.
backed the wrong horse.
Happens.
And it's rare that Joe didn't have a peripheral. He had
I
like
know.
all of the peripherals.
I did
Yeah,
have the
Super Scope
SNES
6.
Advantage. I did have that.
This is the only dude I know who had a Super Scope, by the way.
Yeah,
I
there
don't
you
know
are.
anybody who had a Super Scope besides Joe.
I thought it was
Same.
cool. I thought it was cool.
Super Scope
shit.
is a bazooka, right?
Yeah. it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it was one of those things where I looked at it and I went, "That's gonna get destroyed in my house somewhere."
Yeah. only one game is gonna use this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I had Tin Star.
I used it
Yeah,
for
2
two.
Okay, sorry.
Metal Combat Falcon's Revenge is
That
great.
game was
It's a
cool.
Yeah.
great game. Great game.
Yeah.
But yeah, back to this.
Back to the yeah. So
So,
Avengers is getting a bunch of like Nothing stuff and Spider-Man, which is
The
Spider-Man
thing.
is essentially
Yeah.
Sony property.
Well, yeah, it's property, quote unquote, but like we know how much Spider-Man is in bed with Sony,
Hmm.
going back like what, almost 20 years now, probably longer.
Mhm.
Maybe even longer. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
God,
when did they
that-
get the movie rights for that? Like
96.
96. Okay, so at least that long, at least 24 years.
Yeah. It was the attempt for James Cameron's Spider-Man.
Yeah,
Oh, I'm
but
glad
that
that
didn't
didn't happen.
I would watch the hell out of that.
right.
No.
So I don't think
No,
I
you
don't
wouldn't.
think,
When you read about what it was going to be, no, you wouldn't.
I still would have watched it.
yeah,
No.
we would have watched it. We would have seen it. We'll watch anything Spider-Man, as
Mm.
audiences have proven. So I'm not
Yeah.
sure. I don't think Spider-Man is exclusive to Sony on video games. I'm pretty sure like intellectual property has to be specified for what platform.
It does. This is definitely a thing where because Sony, this probably didn't cost Sony a lot of money to get the exclusivity.
No,
for
because
Spider-Man
Marvel was
on this.
bankrupt in '96.
Well, no, I'm talking about even in this case
Okay.
Hmm.
because there's a decent working relationship with Sony
Yeah,
and Marvel.
and they
or
probably
Disney.
even struck the deal when they did the PlayStation.
I have a
Spider-Man
feeling
game.
it had something to do with that. Honestly, I
Or
really
maybe
do.
it had something to do with him being in the Avengers.
Well, he was
know.
in Ultimate Alliance 3,
Yeah.
and that's a Switch exclusive.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, but Sony Sony doesn't see Nintendo as a competitor,
that's true.
Not the
Nintendo
same
doesn't
way.
see them
and
as a
Nintendo
competitor.
doesn't see anybody as a competitor.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Nintendo's
Like
a toy company.
yep, they are.
pretty much.
That's why I love
Sports
them.
entertainment versus wrestling.
Yep,
I mean, Nintendo makes some damn good toys,
they
Yeah.
really do. The best, one might say.
Mhm.
ageless toys. Outside of the Wii U and
So-
I can't even lie about the Wii. Like I don't like it, but like it's obviously one of the best toys they've ever made.
Yeah.
So was I the only person who kind of sat there and scratched my head at everybody being in an uproar over the Spider-Man thing, despite the
Oh.
fact that they said when they first announced this game that, hey, there's going to be some Sony exclusive content and possibly a Sony exclusive character.
Everybody knew it was
we
Spider-Man,
can't talk
obviously.
about it. And it's like, and everybody did Pikachu face. Like, the fuck did you think was going to happen?
I
Well,
think
here's the
What
thing.
did you think
There's-
this was
there's-
going to be?
Because
There's
it's
no
Spider-Man,
there's no equivalent. First off, it's Spider-Man. Secondly, there's no equivalent of this on any other platform. So people are getting charged the same amount of money for what is
for a lesser
essentially
version.
a worse version of the game. Like,
Well,
you can sugarcoat all you want and
That's
gloss
on
over
the
whatever's
publisher.
in there.
That's on the publisher. That's not. I'm sorry.
Look.
I don't know. This is a two-way street here. Okay.
Do we know if this is a time exclusive or no?
No, I
Spider-Man?
don't think so.
No,
more than
he's
likely
probably-
it's
I think
not.
I think that's what really sucks about it, because honestly, Microsoft is guilty of this as well. Because you had stuff like
Yeah.
Rise of the Tomb Raider, which had a year exclusivity deal.
And they
to-
said nothing about how long that exclusivity was. So they made
they
everybody
not?
think it. No, they made
Okay.
everybody think that it was just a straight up Xbox
Yeah,
exclusive.
The way it was marketed, you would have thought it was an Xbox.
Oh, I guess I never
It
for
was
a
very
second thought it
underhanded
was
the way they handled
for-
that shit. It was
for
really bad.
exclusive. Okay, I guess that's the case, but thinking that this might be the only place where you can get Spider-Man, that sucks.
Yeah, that's what people are mad about. They're like, this is the only place. Like, this is really it. This is it. You're just gonna strong arm everything like this? Because from like what I've heard from people in the who have the fingers in the industry is that Sony is really strong arming a lot of the gaming industry. They're going to a lot of like third party publishers and developers and just
Throwing
like
money around.
throwing money at them the same way
You know
Epic
what?
Games is doing. They're like,
In
"Hey,
a way,
exclusive rights."
in a way, I can't
can't
wrong
fuck-
them because if
That's what they
you-
got.
if you mess up at the start of the generation, that can mess up the whole generation. We've seen
Okay,
what
yeah,
it done
Yeah,
to
there's
Xbox.
going to be a winner. It's not going to be, it's not going to be
fenced
close.
in or
Anymore.
anything like that.
It's
Yeah,
not going to be close anymore because like
I don't think there's
Yeah.
there's going to be a console war this.
no,
coming
there's
year.
not. There's
service.
going to be a
Yeah,
winner.
Microsoft
and there's
is.
going to be a loser.
I mean, I don't even necessarily think that. I think Microsoft at this point now is. I don't actually think they're worried about selling the Xbox Series X.
nope.
I
Nope,
think
nope,
that
nope,
this
nope.
is Game
Oh,
Pass
that's-
is all over
Game
the
Pass
everything.
is a huge, and I think that's what Sony is seeing. They're lobbying
Yeah.
against that. They're like, "Yo, Game Pass is going to be big, especially in maybe the economic crisis that we might be facing in the next year,
Huge.
people aren't saying like, oh, I'm going to buy a $60 game. They're like, you know what? I could pay $60 for this service and just get a
Yeah.
Netflix smorgasbord of games.
Right, because how often do you go back to these games you pay $60?
Exactly.
Very rarely. I go back to games I paid $10 for far more often.
Unless it's a game I know I'm going to immediately play, I don't buy it when it's $60.
Exactly.
Same way.
Like unless I
No,
immediately know I'm going to play it.
We
Like
know these
okay.
things aren't going to stay at 60 either.
Oh yeah, you mean
Yeah.
$70? Sorry. Whoops.
And that's why I don't have Horizon Zero Dawn, because I wanted to play the game, but when it came out, I was like, I'm not playing this right now, and I don't.
Yeah,
know
that's why I
when
didn't
will
buy
play.
Ghost of Tsushima. Not that I
Yeah,
don't want
same.
to play it. It's just like I'm just not going to play it right now.
Yeah. And by the
So,
time
you know.
you play it, it's probably $40.
It will probably be $40 exactly. So I see no reason not to wait for it to have a
Oh,
sale at some point.
I at a certain point I can't wrong Sony for lobbying for like, hey, you want the best experience? Get the PlayStation.
Mhm.
It's still scummy though.
Yeah,
It's
like,
I mean,
is it-
because they're throwing millions of dollars at companies that already have millions of dollars. If this were like some small studio that needed like development money and startup money and like they needed more resources to pay their people and get more people onto the project, you want Sony to be like, throw them a lifeline, kickstart something, like say, we'll throw you a lifeline, if you put us on PlayStation. I don't mind that.
Like they did
That's
with Street Fighter
pretty
V.
cool, because that would not have existed without like funding from that,
Yeah.
Same thing, like kind of like Street Fighter V, even though
Yeah.
Capcom's a bad example for this analogy here.
They are.
But
But like
technically
they're
have money.
throwing money at people who already have millions. Like, here's money, you have money, here's even more money. We'll make
what
tons
people
of
like?
money together.
A lot of money.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't see anything different than how Microsoft handled things in their first
It's
two
not.
Yeah,
generations.
it's
Absolutely correct.
And also Microsoft still has money, and they could also still do this. In fact, they just buy studios
they
instead.
just buy studios, and Lord knows what's going to happen to them.
Yeah.
So,
Like, pray to God they
hey,
get
man,
hits, or
I
they're gonna
like
get
Obsidian
put on a dead
games.
File.
If I want to play an Obsidian game now, I can't get on my PlayStation.
I totally forgot Obsidian was a
Yeah.
Microsoft exclusive now. I totally
Yeah.
forgot about that.
Yeah.
So like, I don't think it's any more scummy than
Yeah.
the NFL going to EA and saying, "Hey, do you want to be the sole person to make NFL games?" And
But let's-
EA is like, "Yeah, of course."
Yeah.
It's scummy because I care
Yeah.
about Spider-Man.
Yeah, let's not mince words. Just because we don't think it's any more or less scummy than that doesn't mean it's not scummy. Because we've complained about the EA Sports thing. ad
I've never
nauseam.
complained about it.
Okay, it has been complained about
Okay.
already a lot.
Alright.
We're not
So,
we're not big into football games in this quartet
Circle here.
over here.
I mean,
Yeah.
like I have
The
played
same thing happens to
football
Call of
games,
Duty.
and I also, I played NFL 2K5 over Madden because I thought it was a better game. But like,
Most
it
people
was.
agreed with you.
this is not like, it was not EA's fault that the NFL was like, "Hey, do you want exclusivity?" Right now,
Yeah.
Sony wants to spend money to try to get exclusivity. They're within their rights to do so. It's not like they're not. I don't think it's scummy because of that.
Look, it doesn't.
But does
help-
it stop at
It does
Spider-Man?
not. It does nothing for the consumer.
Okay,
Not a
but
goddamn
they don't
thing.
they don't care about the Xbox consumer, and it's not their responsibility to.
Yeah, it's not. I
Their
just,
responsibility is to care about the PlayStation consumer.
I get that, but I'm saying this stuff, it only harms the consumer. It removes more choice from your purchasing power, and that's not a good thing. As
Okay,
insignificant as it could be, it's it does nothing for the common person.
So, like, if the game is going to be multi-platform and it's going to be better on the PlayStation, and you don't
Yeah.
want to buy a PlayStation because whatever reason you don't,
Or you're not
going to
buy a PlayStation just for this.
Okay, so yeah, I can understand why you'd be like, yeah, it sucks that you have a inferior version of the game. It's the same way that you had anybody who bought a Call of Duty on the PlayStation 3 had an inferior version of that game to
For
the
a month.
Xbox 360. Sure, but like, it was for a month, but it was still inferior
Mm-hmm.
because you were not playing the same game that they were playing. But and now in the era of crossplay, which is again something that never existed before, and Sony's within their right to say we don't want crossplay, but like, they've given in on certain battles. In the era of crossplay, you need everything to be equal. You can't have a system that has, 7 cars in Rocket League, and then the next system has 22 cars.
So I actually think that's the biggest detriment to this whole thing because it looks like there won't be any crossplay with this.
I mean,
Because-
that would mean that if there is crossplay and there's multiplayer and you can use Spider-Man in multiplayer, that would mean that the
That's
assets
gonna
for
be
Spider-Man exist, but you
In
can't
the
use
other
them.
games, then you can't
Yeah.
use them. Yep, and that's not going to happen.
And that's
Nope.
not going to happen. So.
Nope.
Because the second they put Spider-Man on the PC version of the game,
Spider-Man's in the PC
everybody
version
on
of
the
the
PC
game.
version has Spider-Man for free.
Yeah. So I think
So-
I think that's my biggest issue with this.
Yeah,
'Cause
that it does,
I love crossplay. Like that being a thing going forward. I
Wave of
love
the
it.
future, man.
I love it.
It's how fighting games are going to
Crossplay
survive.
That's
It
exactly how
needs
they
to
will survive.
crossplay needs to exist for several genres of games. I
Fighting
don't
games.
necessarily think that it needs to exist for this game, and it's
not
whatever.
for Avengers.
No.
It doesn't hurt.
It doesn't hurt. Is right.
Yeah, nothing. Yeah, it will not hurt, but it doesn't need to exist. And it for how they're marketing this game right now,
It's exclusive.
it better not exist because they will definitely
It's gonna be
enrage people.
it's gonna be problems. There's gonna be problems.
The I don't know, like you need if you're going to move systems, you need to have reasons to move systems, and this is the reason why everybody in this chat has a Switch.
Yep.
Because Switch games you're only going to find on the Switch.
Yeah.
Right. But
And
I guess that's
some of
kind of
them are-
that's kind of different because Nintendo doesn't have to throw money at Nintendo for exclusivity rights.
No, you're right, but I mean, like, let's say Ubisoft wanted to make a Rabbids XCOM game, and they wanted to put it out on other systems, but for whatever reason, Nintendo was like, "Hey, just put Mario on that," and now it's a Nintendo exclusive.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like we don't know what they do. What was that Star Fox? That wasn't Star Fox. that was on the Switch?
Dinosaur Planet.
No. The
Starfield.
Starlink. Was
Starlink. There you go.
Starlink. Right.
Look at my case.
that had Star Fox characters in it, and that was like the big draw of the game, even though it had literally nothing to do with Star Fox. That
Yeah.
game could have been on
That-
any system,
It is on all. It is on the other systems, but nobody bought the other system versions.
but where are the Star Fox characters on there?
There's no Star Fox characters on there.
So, I mean, like,
I bought that version because of the
Yeah.
exclusive Star
Right.
Fox.
You see, that's the thing. Nobody cared because it was Starlink.
That's
right?
yeah.
But
Nobody
it's
cared,
Starlink
but, like,
featuring Star Fox.
That's
it's
the
something
same.
else.
The same principle exists. Although
So,
more people are going to be more angry about Spider-Man than they are about Falco.
obviously,
Yes.
Spider-Man is a far more significant character. But
I don't know. I like Falco a lot.
I'm sorry.
Vienna calling or Rock Me Amadeus?
Okay.
Oh, I thought you were a Falco fan. Come on, let's go.
Right. Yeah.
There's a new Suicide Squad game being teased, and it's being made by Rocksteady.
Okay.
So,
But what about Bebop?
He might be in the sequel.
All right, cool.
Yeah, well, I don't think Bebop makes games. I think he just
Makes beats.
hits
Awesome.
turtles with a chain attached to his head
Cool.
in Turtles 3. That's what he had,
Mhm.
like a ball and chain. Anyway, yeah, new Rocksteady game, DC Universe. Obviously, they have a pedigree, but Superman being involved in games is usually problematic.
Yeah,
So-
can I?
How did they circumvent that?
I would hope by you not playing a Superman.
Just put a bunch of rings in the sky and you'll be fine.
No, stop that. So
Go ahead, Chris.
can I?
Yeah, do it.
Can I-
It
I
has to
gotta-
do with comic books. Go ahead.
This is okay. So I'm gonna do the comic book fan reaction first, or maybe I'll do the video game. I don't know. No, I'll start with the negative one because then I'll be nice afterward. Because I saw that. I think Theo had posted it. Theo, you posted the initial tweet in the chat, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I just looked at it, and the comic book fan in me just fucking, my eyes rolled into the back of my fucking skull and I almost knocked myself out.
Why?
Because it's Suicide Squad.
Because it's fucking Suicide Squad. because it's fucking more DC grim dark bullshit.
I mean, Suicide Squad was born of that because, like, hey, let's make this edgy team because we're
Like,
edgy.
oh my
That's
God.
Suicide Squad
This
in
is,
a nutshell.
yeah, this has nothing to do with the movie. Because the Suicide Squad as a concept is a very
It's fine.
cool thing. It's super awesome. It's,
Every comic book villain should have a Sinister Six, right?
it's yeah, and Suicide Squad is even cooler because they work for the government.
Yeah.
That's like an added wrinkle of
I
like,
didn't.
hey,
I didn't take the movie as grimdark though.
no, but the
We're
movie
gonna talk
sucks, and
movie's
that movie
fine.
didn't know what it needed to do. No, that movie's garbage. It's fucking terrible.
Mm.
Sorry, it is an objectively, horrifically made fucking film that was a train wreck in the edit, and it didn't know what it wanted to be, which is why it was so bad, right? Because they wanted to make it. It was, trust me, it was supposed to be more grim dark, and then Guardians of the Galaxy came out, and they're like, oh shit, maybe we should add a cool, funky soundtrack to it and make it seem kind of fun. And it's like,
yeah, no singular
nothing
vision.
fun about a bunch of super villains who are most of them murdering lunatics, just kind of bounce around. Like, I mean, it's going for like a dark humor, and that's not the aesthetic that the movie had.
Mhm.
So, and the cast of that particular Suicide, like the original Suicide Squad, for me, Mike is like Captain Boomerang and Deadshot, you know, and like the original Suicide Squad had one superhero who was in jail and was actually working on that team as well. I think it was it Bronze Tiger?
Mm.
Yeah. So, and also Suicide Squad, the comic, is also where Oracle came from. That's where Barbara Gordon first became Oracle, was in that shit.
Mm.
So like, there's some cool potential shit here, and as a comic fan, like I said, it's like,
Why
fucking,
this IP?
like, why this IP? Like, you could have gone anywhere, and you went for more grim dark bullshit, and it was hard for me not to fucking groan at it. Video game person to me is like, this is a fucking fantastic IP for a video game.
I think the premise is
brilliant.
Well, we don't know anything about this
No,
yet.
we
We just
don't.
saw an image of Superman with a crosshair on his head.
Look, it's a team game, which instantly means you're playing as more than one character, which is all I ever wanted to do in Arkham anyway.
Or is a games of service.
If it is,
Or
if it's going
fighting
with
off of Avengers.
yeah,
Yeah,
if it's going with the
right?
Avengers aesthetic, and I bet people at Rocksteady were like, motherfuckers, probably watching the Avengers trailers and all that.
Oh, I don't
shit.
think they're worried about that at all.
No,
Because
probably
they
not.
can't make a Justice League game, 'cause that wouldn't work. Because Superman's on it.
Or
Yeah,
they
right.
could just
They
make a
could make
Superman
a-
game.
You know, just like how they supposedly kill Captain America at the beginning of
Kill.
you know,
Yeah.
time bullets.
Mhm, yeah.
Kill Captain America at the beginning of it. They could kill Superman. And be like, oh, Superman is dead. We must avenge him. And you get Superman at like the final mission where
Yeah.
you get to be God Superman and beat up everybody.
That would be awesome.
That could be fun.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Hey,
I
Dre,
think you just
made your
gave people a
game.
good
Look at
idea, Andre.
that. Yeah.
Yeah,
look at that.
well, because it makes sense, right? Every time you make a Superman game, it sucks because Superman is not supposed to be challenged
Right?
like that.
Yeah.
So, like,
Yeah.
when you get Superman, it's just like, yeah, sure, go ahead.
Right. The secret
everything
is JLA.
It really is, though. So yeah, so like that's just like I said. I want the fucking heroes. I want the bright corniness of DC to come back in some capacity, man. I'm so sick of I'm so sick of the Batman is leaking into everything in DC.
That's
what I love.
because
So
it's the only
tired
thing.
of it.
It's the only thing in DC that was successful. Like Green Lantern was doing really well for a long time.
Yeah, Joe,
then-
remember how great that comic was?
Yeah, like Green
You were
Lantern was all over the
years.
place.
Incredible.
And then you know they finally decided to do something that was not a comic book thing with Green Lantern, and they shit the bed.
Yeah.
So
Just
that-
words right out of my
they just went right back to what we're like. Oh, we'll just do what. You know,
Fuck it,
Batman,
Batman.
always works. Let's just
That-
do everything like
does
Batman.
always work.
Yeah.
That's always what he's a working man.
Yep.
But is why I
Working
love the
hard for
Flash
the man.
TV series so much.
Yeah.
Even though it's pretty
Yes.
bad sometimes.
Yeah,
Like,
sometimes
that-
it's bad, but
we'll
at least
always
it
have-
feels
knows
like
what it is.
DC.
We'll always have season 1.
yeah.
Look,
We'll always have season 1.
that show feels like a DC comic
Yeah, it does.
on screen. Even I'm not even the biggest Barry Allen fan, and they made him Wally in that show, like
Yeah.
because I'm a Wally West guy because that's
Mhm.
my Flash. But that show fucking loves how silly it can be.
Yeah.
And I love it for that. And it's like I'm sick of this apologetic shit that Warner Brothers fucking puts out about DCU. It's like, yeah, just embrace that your shit's kind of stupid and corny, man.
You're
That's what makes it
superheroes, for
great.
God's sake.
Yeah.
You're
No.
fucking DC Comics.
You're,
Yeah,
you're
you have
modern,
Superman.
you are modern mythology. Roll with it.
Just fucking roll with it. Yeah, your shit's a little bit sillier than Marvel. That's fine. That's okay.
The funny thing is, like, Marvel is able to show you movies that are both serious
Yes.
and not serious at the same time.
Because you know what?
Even-
They go in with a vision,
Yeah.
and they don't look at other things to be like other things.
Yep.
And,
And
just
then,
like,
like, the funny thing is that if DC looked at this to try to be like it, they might be like, hey, you know what? They managed to be both serious and embrace the comicness of the comic books. Why don't we do that? And DC's
Yeah.
like, nah, let's just do another R-rated cartoon.
like the company keeps like, it's like, I feel like their Batman obsession is gonna make me hate Batman. I feel
It
like it's
has-
making
it
me
has
hate
I'm surprised you
Batman.
don't
already-
already.
Huh?
I'm surprised you don't already, honestly.
In a way, I do. It's not I don't hate Batman because I like Batman. I love Batman.
You're,
Jesus
you're
fucking
tired
Christ.
of DC always falling back on
Yeah,
Batman.
it's like
Like how
they're
Marvel did
making
for
me
Wolverine
hate
for
Batman.
a long
Wolverine.
time.
Yep.
Oh my god.
And then, you know what? You know what Marvel did? What did Marvel do, Chris? What did they do to Wolverine? Once he got overexposed, what did they do?
They changed him. They made him a leader. He evolved as a character, and then they killed him at one
And
point
then they
too.
killed him.
They just got rid
He
of his
went
ass.
away for a while.
It was great, and then we missed him.
We missed him.
You know, it's crazy. Batman went away for a while also.
Yeah.
I guess not long enough.
No,
Right.
Well,
Because
you know.
why? Because they did this Batman through the ages thing while that
Batman-
was happening.
Batman also has the side effect of being surrounded by a bunch of incredible characters around him. Wolverine does too, but like,
Part of the fun of Batman is watching how other people respond to Batman.
yes,
Yeah, it's like,
absolutely.
oh, you're insane.
Yeah.
No, he's not.
I'm not saying he is, but
Yeah, he's-
No, he's terrifying.
He's also kind of insane.
He's a little crazy.
Yeah.
And like anyone who's technically a superhero might be a little crazy. That's
What was that? What was that? I don't remember which it was. There was the cartoon. I don't remember if it was a movie or an episode
hmm
where he was fighting Joker, and then at one point at the end of it, Joker cracks a joke, and then they both start laughing.
That's a comic
just like-
called The Killing Joke.
And I was just like, yeah, like they're really pretty much the same character, except one of them has money and the other one doesn't.
I can tell you the joke
Yeah.
too. Like I know that shit inside and out. That comic is incredible.
Mm.
Killing Joke is fucking phenomenal.
I definitely saw it as a
Yeah,
cartoon,
they,
so I don't
they
know.
made an adaptation of it that was horrendous. Sadly. But they got that scene right. It's one of the few scenes they got right.
I mean, if you got that scene wrong, you'd never hear the end of it.
No, I mean,
It's
no,
like-
no,
it's
they didn't
like-
hear the end of it. No, this movie was bad.
Okay.
It was real bad. That's another rant. That's a rant for another day. But
All right.
they somehow fucked up, even with Kevin Conroy being Batman and Mark Hamill being the Joker in that movie, and they still fucked it up.
Well, it's not on them. If
No,
you
I'm not blaming them for it because obviously they
look, sometimes Luke Skywalker's gonna drink the blue milk.
it's there
Right?
right.
Mark Hamill only does what he's told.
Yep, I
There's
mean,
actually-
they're paying him to do the job.
There's a genius clip from Justice League Action that Mark Hamill is kidnapped by the Joker and,
Yes.
Yeah, I
and
knew
the
you-
trickster,
Mhm.
and it is just fucking amazing. It is Mark Hamill talking to himself in the car for like 5 minutes, and it's fucking
Yeah,
phenomenal.
it's a great scene.
It's
so
fun.
good.
It's a fun. What was that? The Batman or like the
No, that's Justice League Action.
Oh, it's just okay.
That's the
All right.
current DC cartoon, which is
Okay,
better than it has
okay.
any right to be. Also has a really great episode where Cyborg gets obsessed with the Justice League fighting game, and at one point when the screen is flashing through, it is the Street Fighter Alpha intro with Justice League characters in it. Like I recognized it immediately. I'm like, oh,
Wait a second.
wow,
Now, they have a Justice League fighting game on Super Nintendo.
they do.
So
They
why
didn't
would
mention
they?
that one though.
Okay.
Well,
or
Cyborg was
Injustice
in
for
this.
that matter.
Yeah, exactly.
All
So
right.
yeah. So yeah, I'm excited for it on the video game end. I'm actually very excited for this game
Mhm.
because
It could definitely work.
it is that is a good IP for an adaptation.
You
I'm
know
not gonna
what?
Shit on it.
Honestly, I think I trust video game developers more with superheroes than I do DC and Marvel.
Look,
Now you do.
you do especially now.
Well, I trust them more than DC.
Oh,
I
yeah.
so-
I don't
Trust
know
more
if I
DC.
trust them.
Maybe
more than
not Marvel. Yeah, Marvel has had great success with their movies. So bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
When is this supposed to be coming out? The trailer August 22nd, correct?
Yeah, later this month.
So we got a ways to go.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? August 22nd, Blinken will be here.
Yep.
It will be. It
Don't
will
tell
be.
me that right now.
Sorry.
Oh, it'll be faster than the Street Fighter announcements.
Oh, okay. All right.
Well,
let's
thanks
yeah.
for the segue.
Yep.
Hey, I do those once in a while.
That was intentional. You know it.
Of course.
Street Fighter V reveals its season 5 and give us 4 out of the 5 characters at this reveal.
Yep.
We got Dan, Rose, Oro, and Akira from Rival Schools.
Let me ask you guys something real quick.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
As a person who's not the fighting game guy,
Mm-hmm.
is Dan like a wasted slot in
No.
this?
Absolutely not.
Yes and
Well,
no.
Yes, yeah,
Like-
it's both. It is
So,
both, actually.
like, what role does he fill?
He fills that low tier skill character role
Mhm.
where it's like if you want to challenge yourself, then you play as his character.
Yes.
Or humiliate somebody else.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
He's a troll
But I
character.
don't expect him to be balanced that way in this game. I expect him to be viable.
He won't be.
Mm.
I don't think he'll be viable.
He's going to be viable because I don't think that this game has any like 7-3 or worse matchups.
That's what I mean. It's Street
Yeah,
Fighter
oh, that's
5.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's a little bit more unbalanced than Street Fighter 4 was
It
for
is.
most of its life, but it's still not anywhere near like Marvel 2 or Street Fighter 3 level.
Yeah, there's
of
no.
we
You'll
have
never see. Yeah, you'll never see that again.
legitimate, ridiculous characters, and
There's no
half the
9-1
cast can't
matchups.
compete, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think Dan will have some level of the ability to fight back against characters and not
probably have some
lose
5-5s.
because you picked Dan.
Okay.
And
So
like he's a personality character. Like
yeah, that's really it. Yeah,
he's there for like the charm.
he's
Like,
there to make you
'cause-
laugh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a place for him.
It's good that games have things like we were just talking about. You don't always have to take yourself so seriously.
Yeah.
So it's nice to have a character like this pop into a game every once in a while.
Right. I mean, he's literally a parody of a SNK character.
Yeah.
There's
Character.
2 of them smushed into one.
That's
Yeah,
true.
he is.
Yes, he is both.
He is Robert and Rio.
He's Robert and
Smushed
Rio.
together.
Yeah.
But
And then-
yeah, no, I don't think he's a waste.
Okay.
No, not a waste, but like I certainly don't think it's a good place to start this announcement.
Yeah, it's an interesting
Well-
way to start.
The funny thing is that Dan's just always been in the game.
Yeah.
He's
He's
like
in a story mode or
he's
something
a
like
train
that.
he's a training mode dummy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he is.
So maybe that's why he's the first one because his assets were there.
Yeah, he's
So,
like,
probably.
he has
the
assets
road-
in the game.
The roadmap for this was such that they announced this and Dan is still like several months away, and
Yeah, Dan is like
yeah,
I
some of
think in
those characters are coming
September or
out
October.
yeah on late 2021.
yeah.
So this roadmap is
Really?
long. This roadmap is long,
Yeah.
which tells me exactly one thing, that they had like this was we knew this season 5 was not planned.
Nope.
They just said, all right, let's just take care of this. Let's just do this to try to get some more life out of Street Fighter 5 that they needed to get out of. So
Mhm.
that's when development for this started, and it's still not ready. It's not cooked. They just
Yeah.
decided to tell us about this now because this is around the time when Evo would have taken place.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I'm pretty disappointed. This is pretty much all the info we got out of it, of any fighting game, really. This is
At the
all we
same
got.
time, at the same time, though, see, I understand that frustration. If you want to get frustrated about the announcements themselves, I don't know
Yeah,
what else
I
to
am.
tell you, right?
I'm disappointed.
The roadmap, it's the fact that it's stretching out so much is also disappointing.
Yes.
However, I really don't want to shit on them too hard for this because for the first fucking time they are being very clear about what their goals are.
Right. So this just means we're not getting Street Fighter 6 until like at least 2022.
Which is
Right.
also there's 2 reasons why this thing is so stretched out. One is that they are trying to kill time for Street Fighter 6,
Yes.
which is probably
Which we've had some rumblings about that after this
Yep.
announcement. So
especially
Get to that in a second.
with Ono's firing and everything like that, or demotion.
Demotion.
Demotion, right?
Yeah.
The other reason is everybody's remote. It's kind of hard
Yeah.
to develop things when everybody's remote.
Yeah.
So the Street Fighter 6 thing ties into that because that it has been in development, and Ono was the head of it, and it was doing very poorly internally.
Something was not clicking.
No, so it was not clicking. They were doing like this King of Fighters style team-based thing, maybe some Capcom versus SNK kind of thing. There's some team-based thing is what I heard. There's no details about it, but it didn't test well. It didn't sit well with producers and developers, so they scrapped it and went back to the drawing board, and they started redoing it. And then COVID hit.
Yeah.
So obviously that got pushed
Really
back
pushed
a
back.
lot further than it already was pushed back.
Yep.
So they have to stretch this roadmap out all the way to next year. People have to live with Street Fighter V for content's gonna trickle in over the next year or so.
Yep.
I don't think people are gonna be real excited about that.
So they announced 4 of the 5 characters, right?
Right.
Do you think they know who the 5th character is? Are they
Not
trying to-
Makoto.
Absolutely.
They
Yeah, they know who it
absolutely
is.
Characters.
They
Then-
know exactly who it is.
Then why not just put the 5th character out?
Because that last character is going to serve for some level of hype for something.
Yeah, they
Yep.
want people to be excited for it, and if you tell them who it is, then there won't be any anticipation because you already have all the information.
There's a reason why the most hyped character of this trailer was also saved for last.
Yeah,
Because Akira from Rival Schools being there, that's huge. That's real fucking big.
Hmm.
Because that's going back to a well that they have not touched for a very long time.
Right.
Not
Project
since
Justice.
Tatsunoko.
yeah. So who knows if
Oh,
they're
yeah.
gonna do anything with Rival Schools or Project Justice after this? You know, like they didn't do very much with Final Fight
Collection, please.
when Abigail and Cody was put
No,
into.
Yeah.
But I think at this point, it's par for the course for Final Fight characters to just be acknowledged.
Being
as-
Street Fighter, yeah, they're
Yeah.
Street Fighter characters. I mean,
The Street Fighter
Final
characters.
Fight is technically a Street Fighter
Yep.
game.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Fight in the street.
Well, it's Street
It,
Fighter.
it was
89.
supposed to be Street Fighter 2.
Yeah.
And it was called Street Fighter 89 originally.
Right. So they're technically already Street Fighter characters, so that's
They are.
fine. That's fine. But like a crossover, like a Rival Schools character, means something for
Yeah.
Rival Schools.
I think
Like,
it was
you don't just do that. You don't put a Darkstalkers character in some. Well, they did it with Marvel, so never mind.
Yeah, but I mean, like that's Marvel.
That's what they did.
fine.
Yeah.
But like Street Fighter and Rival Schools, we already know the same universe because
They
Sakura
do.
exists
Yeah.
in Rival Schools.
Yeah.
And she is a playable character, and I don't know if she's in both of them.
She's in Rival Schools 1 and 2. She's not in Project Justice.
Yeah,
Did she graduate? Is that why?
No, she's just not in it
Okay.
for whichever reason.
Who
So,
at
like-
Capcom would make a 3D? I'm sorry, Dre. Go on.
no, I mean like this character exists in the Street Fighter universe, so like it's fine for them to come over.
There is no reason for her not to be in it.
I mean, sure, I guess people might have been more excited about Batsu or Kyosuke or something like that, but like she's a
Oh,
fine
Kira-
character.
Akira's pretty big, actually.
I think she's a fine character choice. for
she's
this.
she's actually one of the more popular characters.
Mm.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of like that on the low kind of thing. Like she is insanely popular. Like
Yeah.
she tops out character polls for that game. Popular. Like I know it doesn't seem like it, but like
I mean,
I
it's
can see
Rival
it.
Schools and its popularity is already limited. But within that
Yeah.
limited popularity,
yeah,
she's popular, and she's a
Yeah.
big fish in that small pond.
And anything that they can do to drum up interest for their other IPs is good,
I mean, like
as long as they're willing to act on it.
yeah,
So here's the
exactly.
thing.
It means
So
nothing
I-
if they do nothing with Project Justice. Go ahead.
So I have 2 questions. First question:
Mhm.
Who would make a Rival Schools today at Capcom?
It's Tsuno. He wants to. He is said
That's
out loud.
Devil May Cry dude, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
he is said out loud.
I mean, after 5,
He
you
is
know,
extremely interested.
after 5,
in
you give
making
the
the
guy
rounds.
what he wants, right?
I hope
Right.
I hope they give him what he wants. 'Cause
Okay.
He
He
has
brought
expressed.
that franchise back to Capcom in
Yeah.
a way that they can like still monetize it. It was pretty successful.
Like, on the same token, I think there are people who are in charge of Monster Hunter who want to do things with a Capcom. And we see no movement on that, and that's Monster Hunter.
Yeah.
Like their biggest cash cow. So if they're not willing to give people in charge of Monster Hunter any other projects, maybe it's because like the pessimist in me is like, you know, they don't actually want to do anything, but the optimist is like they just want to keep them on Monster Hunter to make them more money.
Yeah.
That's more than likely.
Yeah.
I'll
Also,
argue
you
with
know,
that.
never a good thing to stifle somebody's growth because you think that they do a good job at what
Right, because then you get burned out.
Place.
Well, Itsuno he was one of the producers of the original Rival Schools games anyway. So
I mean, like he wants to do it, and like, listen, it's obvious that he doesn't have the soul of Inafune that apparently Ono might have inherited.
Yeah.
So if he wants to do rival schools, then he should just be able to do rival schools as long as they can get excitement for that game.
Yeah.
And don't run the stupid famous Capcom test of let's put out an old version of this game, and if 42 people don't buy it, then we're never gonna make it again.
Yeah, no, I hate that Capcom Justice thing is so shitty. Although I'm not gonna lie, man. Like I think if you said, "Hey, we're putting Project Justice out," I think people will get excited by that because that
Is
shit
trapped only on the Dreamcast?
Yes, it is.
and the arcade. Yes, but it is trapped on Dreamcast.
So,
Yeah.
Project Justice now featuring rollback netcode.
Facts.
Sounds pretty good to me.
That'd be all right. I ain't gonna lie.
Sounds
Huge
pretty
fan
good
of
to
rival
me.
schools. I didn't
Get
even play
Iron
Project
Galaxy
Justice.
to do it.
Project Justice blows the first Rival Schools game out of the water.
And that's great because I
Yeah.
love the first rival schools.
I can't even play Rival Schools because of Project Justice.
Mm.
Like that's how good that game is.
My second question: since you guys said that Ono is demoted, who helms Street Fighter 6?
I forgot her name, but there was
So someone else is in charge of it now. Like
yeah. I'll see if I can pull it up.
it's
Okay.
the more we look at it, the more Ono's success with Street Fighter 4 was a fluke.
Yeah.
Like,
Is it
I
a
don't-
fluke or was it going for so long that it had nothing but success? Under
That's
his belt?
probably what made
That's
it fluke.
always my theory.
Yeah.
It's just-
like. So is it time for Street Fighter to go away again?
no,
You don't
know
think
what?
so?
No,
no.
honestly, no. Street
There's a
Fighter-
demand for it, and
Street
there's
Fighter-
going to be a
Street
demand
Fighter
for it.
needs to be there.
Does it, though?
It's not like okay. I guess it comes and goes in cycles because we had this already when you had your Third Strike and your Marvel 2 for like however many decades,
Mhm.
and then CVS 2 was hot, and then you just went all in with the Versus stuff. And you had Capcom Fighting Jam was really shit the bed, and that
Mhm.
was the last time you saw anything for a very long time.
That thing that Ono made. Whoops.
And then he comes back with Street Fighter 4, and everybody's excited because there was nothing. Radio silence for
Exactly.
years. But if you want to keep fighting games going the way on the uprise they've been going for the last few years, you can't cut Street Fighter out.
It needs to be there.
Unfortunately.
I think it's okay to have cycles of games. I think a big part of why Capcom shot themselves in the foot again was because they did the thing that got everybody tired in the first place. They oversaturated things. Was it as crazy as it was before? No, but when your market is already that tiny, and think about how fast fucking the versions of Street Fighter 4 combined with Marvel 3 and Cross Tekken, how quickly those games all came out.
Marvel 3 was less than a year after Ultimate Marvel.
Ultimate Marvel came out like 6 months.
Like,
I remember-
like
I rem-
9 months.
I
The
remember
memes were
not
great.
being happy.
But Cross
The
Tekken and
memes were
Marvel came
godly.
out like within a year of each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
What
what are you doing?
The theory is that the new director is Midora Yuasa.
Okay.
Okay.
Theory.
What she's known for?
It says that she is well-known figure in the fighting game community,
Oh,
but I don't
okay.
actually know specifically who she is or what she has done.
I
Okay.
don't know her off the top of my head, but
Trying to pull that up. But of
is
course,
that is she a Dimps person? Is that why?
I don't know.
I mean, well, we can speculate all we want on Street Fighter 6.
Yeah.
I just
It's all
hope
just
I
speculation.
just hope it'll be better than 5. I was really hoping for more information about KOF 15. I wanted more. I wanted to see what new fighting games are coming. I wanted to see where Guilty Gear Strive is right now, what kind of state that's in.
We
this was
got a
supposed to
couple
be.
of character trailers.
Yeah, this
So-
was going to be the year of Marvel 2 at Evo, so I was like, kind of like
All the secret hope.
holding my. I was kind of like holding my. I was kind of like holding one nostril shut for
Yeah, I know, I
some
know.
Marvel news.
Yeah, I know.
You
Me
know,
too.
when I get like, I think
It's that hidden
yeah,
hope that you didn't even want to say out loud
Yeah.
because you didn't want to jinx it.
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And
I
you
get
know,
it.
well, this virus kind of jinxed everything for us. Which is probably
That's
why
an
we're not really
understatement.
seeing it a lot of anything.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's precisely why.
Yep.
Which is unfortunate, and I'm not
Yeah.
going to get mad at the companies because it's like
Yeah.
Because honestly, I could use some new fighting games. Like Soul Calibur 6 didn't really do it for me. You know, I'm just now getting into Killer Instinct, kinda.
Mm-hmm. Like
And that's,
Power
like
Rangers.
several old. Like there's Battle for the Grid, which nobody I know is playing, so it doesn't matter.
It's okay. No, yet bullshit. It's crossplay across
Nobody I
everything.
know is playing it.
So what?
I don't want to play random people on fighting games anymore.
Okay.
Like this is why I almost quit to begin with.
Mm,
I need to play with friends.
gotcha.
So
Well, I have
was-
it for PS4, so
Well, maybe I'll look into
I'll
it.
play it with you.
Okay, well we have Killer Instinct. We'd like that, right?
We do.
Okay.
Well, I need a machine
Yeah.
that can run it and not
that's,
explode.
That's true.
So-
Okay. Okay, well the search continues. Is basically all I'm saying.
Yeah.
And I could definitely use some new fighting games.
Oh yeah, I'm all for it. I'm obviously all for it.
And Battle for the Grid just put in a Sagat Ken.
Yep.
So
Mhm.
voiced by Ken
RJ.
with a Shinryuken.
Yep.
Why not?
There's a lot of on the nose things in Battle
They're
for the
so
Grid,
good
you
at
know?
that.
Yeah.
They're so good
Really
at that.
good. Really, really good.
Why not?
They're so good at that. It's
Doesn't
just-
Clockwork help make that game?
I think so.
Yeah, that's why.
Like really want me to buy that game? Put a rider in it.
Need more.
Like sneak a rider into that game, and then I'm in.
yeah, just sneak another legal contract into the game.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're both owned by the same parent company. So.
Yeah, but not Hasbro.
Yeah, right.
So
Whatever.
well,
Everybody
Bandai
knows
and
how much
Hasbro have a pretty good working
loves their money.
relationship. So.
Okay. Well, not for Battle on the Grid. That's not happening.
No.
Not likelihood nil.
Yeah. That game is cool. That game is silly. I played some of it. It's pretty fun.
Yeah. I think I need something. I need something the pace of a King of Fighters, though. That's
Yeah.
what I need.
Well,
Also, I would like to learn how to play King of Fighters well because I've never been good at it. I was hoping 14 would do it. Nah, maybe I'll get lucky with 15. King of Fighters 13. I think is the best fighting game to come out of that generation.
I would think I'd put Killer Instinct over it just by a smidge, but I have a hard time arguing against it as well. So, because that shit is awesome.
Yeah. So hopefully 15 I'll like as much as 13.
Yeah.
I mean, it follows the principle, odd numbered KOF games. Usually pretty good.
Oh, the Star Trek principle.
It's too hard.
That's the even. Star Trek
Oh,
was
even.
even.
Okay.
Yes.
The opposite of the Star Trek principle.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's too hard, and I don't
it's
like
too
the
hard.
sprites.
Yeah.
I don't like the sprites.
You're
Don't
not
like
gonna
how
see
fat
you're
and
not-
squishy everybody looks.
You're not going to see sprites anymore.
No. No more sprites.
Yeah.
That's like case you broke for sprites.
SNK has proven that they can make a decent looking polygon game since they put out a
Yeah.
Samurai
Sam Show?
Showdown because King of
That game
Fighters
is-
14 was not that great.
I was about to say-
looking, but I still liked what it looked like better than
You like, wait, hold on.
13.
You like the PS2 14 over
Over
13?
13? No way.
They fixed it. They made it
I
look like a
like-
PS3 game, guys.
Yeah, I liked it. I liked it because
Come on.
I just don't like how fat and stubby everybody looks in 13.
Okay.
I can't stand. I hate the fact that Yuri's head is half her body.
Dude, Ralph and Clark look like they ate people.
That's true.
Like, serious. Like, they are so big. It's insane.
It's like I'm
It's
not like
crazy.
I'm not just saying that, like this is something that I don't like because of the aesthetic of it.
No, I
Like
get it.
it makes it hard for me to understand the length of their punches because like they don't go as far as I expect them to,
Mm-hmm.
Stubby normals.
and
Ugh.
it's but at least to their credit, the animations match up to the hitboxes.
They
Yeah.
do.
Unlike
Yeah.
Street Fighter V did.
Unlike Street Fighter 5. Exactly.
They were stubby, but the animation was like half the screen longer than what they actually were.
Like, I swear to God, if I see one more video of a Street Fighter V combo started with a really stupid hitbox, and then the Eric Andre "We'll Be Right Back" music starts playing, I'm tired of it. I don't want to see that. I've seen it enough.
All right. I mean, you could just not watch the Street Fighter V videos anymore.
I
But it's
mean,
not doing
they
anything
just
for
pop up in my feed sometimes. They're
Just
there.
be like,
I'd be like, I click it. I'm like, oh, this is Street Fighter
ignore.
V. Oops.
Just be like,
What happens in this?
watch
What,
it.
what
Stop,
happens in this
stop,
one?
stop, 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 stop.
I'm already done. Okay.
Maybe they could just switch it up, and they get hit by a weird counterattack, and then they just put the JoJo to be continued instead.
Oh, Gaius Team
that'd be
Sesame.
good.
Yeah,
That'd be good.
that's the other one. That's the older version.
I mean,
I
that
don't know.
was
I'm
just
excited. My best Third Strike character is coming to Street Fighter 5. So
my best character is already in there, so maybe we have to run that back. That Alex versus Oro.
we might have to those Alex
Best of
versus Zoro
15.
matches. Oh my god,
My best Third Strike character is too much of a gentleman for this gutter trash
he is. That's a fact.
with no
Look
kids.
at Joe actually talking about his actual best Third Strike character.
It's true though.
That's what I got. That's all I
I know.
got.
Dudley is not in 5?
No,
Dudley is not in 5. No,
Huh.
but I'm impressed you knew it was Dudley.
I mean,
Well,
I dropped
Come on.
the hints. It was
Yeah.
pretty easy. Yeah.
yeah,
I don't know. I like the character
Actually,
picks. Honestly,
I don't mind these picks. I think Oro is kind of. I think he's just gonna be weird in 3D. I think he's
yeah.
just like a weird character.
He's
to be in
weird looking.
3D.
Period. So it works out.
Good luck hiding that nutsack now.
Oh yeah. Oh, he's probably gonna have a longer cloth.
You probably were, like
Oro's nutsack.
no, don't do it.
Oro's.
It's just not there. Don't worry. They
Oh,
hide
it's
it
there.
under well-animated cloth.
It's there, all right.
Oh, just a
It's
bunch
just a
of snacks and
frame.
nuts.
It's just a frame.
No, it's just literally bags of nuts.
Imagine that, a company named Oro producing nuts. All right. Well,
Yeah.
let's close it out.
Sounds
It
good.
was nice and spirited. There's a whole lot of stuff, actual content today. So,
Yay.
always good to have.
Yeah.
You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, Reddit, Instagram, which has been well updated. Thank you very much, Chris,
Trying.
for updating it. Appreciate that. It's great.
I'll try and make other posts too. Honestly, like
You wanna make the pose for the Instagram picture right now?
That's what you got. That is your signature look, though. I will give you that. And that's not working for you.
Well, whatever.
No. A little bit
That's
better.
Zell. That's not even you. That's Zell.
Yeah.
like one of my favorites though. I love that.
Yeah.
Need a hot dog now.
Me too, actually.
People used to call me Zell in college because I would like eat hot dogs in the cafeteria every day.
Okay, that's
I
something
mean,
to
it's
call
cheap
you.
and
It was dude. They
works.
were like there was a special when I first got to college that was like $2.50 for 2 hot dogs and a soda, like
Yeah,
a
that
small
sounds
soda
good. I would
Sorry.
get that.
Are
I'll
they
buy
good hot
that for
dogs?
$2.50.
Yeah, I would get that every day.
every day.
Are they
I
decent
got-
hot dogs?
Yeah, they were good. They were fine.
Alright.
You know, it wasn't.
What
I
kind
felt
of
fine
condiments?
after I ate them.
Listen, as
Huh?
long as they weren't boiled hot dogs, they're decent.
Yep.
No, they were grilled. They were great.
Boiling hot
Alright.
dogs is the worst. That's
I
not
put
a
hot
sausage joke, I promise.
Now we think.
Now
Now
it
it is, though.
Now it is.
SoundCloud, Spotify. They're changing Google Play. I saw an email about it. They're changing Google Play.
Oh
And
no.
apparently it's going to be under the YouTube brand.
I did see something like that. I didn't really.
Okay.
So I will actually
Whatever.
do some research on that to say how we're also going to be heard on YouTube. Oh yeah, we're on YouTube anyway.
Yeah.
You can watch us.
I
on
mean,
YouTube.
it's all Google. YouTube,
Pretty much.
yeah. YouTube's only Google.
Yeah, iHeartRadio, whatever. So tell us
All
if we're
things.
not on it. How about that?
Yes.
Are we not on it? Tell us, and we'll be on it.
We want
Unless
if
it's
you
like-
want us to be on something, we will do our best to be on that thing.
I mean, at this point, it's pretty much academic. If we don't know it and we're not on it, you just tell us, and then we just insert
We
the
figure it out.
RSS. It's pretty much easy now.
Yeah.
Or-
And I'm sure there's something I forgot, but whatever.
Emails.
Yeah.
Emails, yeah, that's something. You can email us because we'll read them, just like we read that nice angry email we got from an anonymous listener who has been a guest member on this.
At least 3
podcast.
times.
So
Yeah, at least 3 times. Yeah.
Is it 3 times?
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
2 or
it's
3.
twice?
It's 2 or 3.
I
I
don't
can't
know.
remember.
Some amount. He's been on it.
He's been
'cause,
here
you know,
before.
Mm-hmm.
He's a, and even though he's been here before, he knows how we operate. He still felt the need to send us an angry email, which means if the best of us can do it, so can the worst of us.
Maybe
And
not.
The worst of
though.
us is all of you.
The worst of
Because-
us makes for better reading.
because we're
It
also
does. That is true.
continuing the sausage show.
Oh God. You
Now
want to hear
you're
this?
doing it.
You want to hear this Reddit question about Oro's nutsack?
Yes.
You know?
If Oro is announced in 2 days and they don't include the frame where you can see his nutsack during a sweep, I'll be boycotting the video game industry.
Theo, get the hell off of our Kappa.
You know he's on our Kappa.
Of
You
course.
just know.
No, because I saw that post on our Kappa.
Yeah.
Did you write it?
No, I did not.
Joe doesn't post on our Kappa.
I did when I posted the Adam Infinites from Streets of Rage 4.
Oh, I thought you posted on the Streets of Rage and it got sent to our Kappa.
You know what? That's right. That did happen. That is what happened. I got indirectly reposted on our Kappa.
Yep. It's funny.
Google Play
Theo, get the hell off of our Kappa.
Podcast
Oh, I'm off.
portal is going away soon. Cool. Thanks for telling me it's going away soon and not actually. As context, YouTube Music is replacing Google Play Music. Okay, there. You're on YouTube Music.
Oh, okay. So we'll be on
Or
YouTube.
is it-
Music.
Okay, cool.
Right.
So we're on 2 different YouTubes.
Hey,
Sweet.
all right, great.
Sure. Yeah. So let's go.
Yeah.
205. Cast off.